It is 2 days ago. Enormous 14, 20-foot waves crash against the hard rock on the coast, a day's travel east and south of Shepherd's End. And there's the scent of salt in the air and a hard wind, a storm on the horizon, choppy and angry sea. Charlotte, you found it. The wreckage of a ship off the coast, several 100 feet out, crushed on the rocks. You can see a mast, sails bent, hanging on the cliffs, splinters of wood washed up on the near shore, lodged in the rocks. Suspicion's true. The shipment of supplies that was supposed to come through Shepherd's End never made it. There it is. All of the iron ingots and things that were lost, waiting there at the bottom.
Is the ship smushed up against one of the cliffs on the shore where she can access it, or is it further out?
Several 100 feet out on some rocks that are jutting out of the water. You don't know precisely that. I should say. That's where you're seeing the debris, the mast and the bulk of the hull. The ship might not have run into the rocks precisely there, but it's certainly nearby.
She looks at it and it looks like the little serpent that she's charmed along the way for company, and says, I think this is where we probably part the ways. And she puts her hand down and lets the little serpent slither out and slither off into the grass. And then she puts down her pack. Probably undoes, kicks off her boots, and she's going to look for the safest way down and into the water that she can get close to the bulk of the wreckage that she can see.
Yeah, the cliffs here are perilous, but there's nothing pressing you for time, and so taking your time and picking your path carefully, you realize that you could make your way down to the water, or if you're feeling bold, a leap off the cliffs might clear the rocks at the bottom.
He hides away, pack anything else that covers over anything that might attract the scent of scavengers, and holds on to her knife, I think, and a net, and the this little clear bubble-looking thing that she attaches to her belt, and then she looks at the distance that she thinks she has to clear and takes a running jump and arcs out into the air, hands over head, slicing down toward the water.
Nice, yeah. There is the sound of water splashing around you, and the change of tone and sound as you go underwater. The water here is heavy with sediment and debris, but not so much that you don't have any visibility at all. But you can see maybe 20, 25 feet or so in front of you in terms of detail. Because of the angle of the sun, there are rays of light cutting through the water that do give you the ability to see some silhouette sort of in the distance. You can see large sections of the ship's hull broken beneath the water, but it's still several 100 feet away.
She's going to stroke towards the main mass of the hull that she can see, staying toward the surface for the moment until she gets as close to it as she can, keeping an eye out for any predators that might be around. But I don't think sharks are a thing here, are they?
No, you've never really seen sharks in these waters. Roll a perception check if you want. Ooh, 23 on the die. Quite good. Yeah, you're not even a quarter of the way there on your swim. when you catch a bit of movement. It's from the hull of the ship. First, you just think it's part of the ship itself, and then there's something large that moves in the water near the wreckage. If you had to guess, 30 feet long, maybe 40. Primordial and aggressive in its shape, large jaws, the sort of thing that could eat an entire person whole. You see it moves not toward you, but just away from the ship. It seems to be a slow meandering cruise through the water. You can see it's accompanied by, you might describe them as like smaller fish that are accompanying it, but they're all about the size of you.
I think, pausing on seeing that, she surfaces to tread water for a moment, unhooks like one part of the bubble that is at her waist and pulls it up and puts down over her head, and then takes a breath, although she doesn't actually have to, and dives down into the water, getting as low as she can to try and hide amidst the rocks and the sediment on the bottom of the ocean here.
Sounds good. Yeah, you sink down to the bottom. Your vision, I think, better with the glass around your head. You get down among like the coral and the rocks. You feel pretty well protected there where you are now. And you see this creature cruising through the water. Certainly doesn't seem to have noticed you yet at this distance. But you've never seen a creature like this, long with strong fins, sharp angles on its jaw, small, swept back dorsal fins, and you see the swarm of creatures that sort of move with it in a school. If you had to guess, 5-6 feet long, sharp teeth.
So do they look like younger versions of it, or more like...
No, different creatures, like in the way that some parasitic or symbiotic creatures might follow a large whale.
And the smaller creatures, they look like they are carnivores as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think she is going to try and creep closer, sort of dragging herself along the bottom of the seafloor, but stealthily.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're able to move carefully among the rocks and all the coral. The currents of the waves coming and going, threatening to thrash you around, but you're pretty skilled maintaining yourself in these waters. You reach the edge of the hard rocks where the depth begins to drop off, and if you move past where you are now, which is about halfway there will no longer be the cover of the rocks and coral. It's more of sand on the way there until you get out to where the ship is.
I just want to spend like maybe 10 to 15 minutes or so watching this creature, seeing what its patterns are like. It seems to be awake since it's moving around, so it's a diurnal creature?
I'm not sure what that word means.
It's opposite of nocturnal.
Okay. Yeah, that would probably describe it, though fair to say that the days are so much longer now, the nights are pretty short, so even creatures that are nocturnal are sort of forced to be in part awake during the day now.
Does it have the sort of bioluminescent things that the Ornocus had?
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't look at all related. Okay.
No, it's the exterior, the outside of it seems to be hard, not carapace precisely, but like thick ridges of bone and things like that.
Yeah, she's just gonna sit there for a while, observing, gathering information about the creature, how it moves, how it seems to react to things. It looks like it's layering in the wreckage of the ship, right?
Yeah, it looks that way.
And does it look like there is Is there anything that she can see of the former supplies that they were expecting visible as well from where she is?
With that 23 perception, yeah, you squint and you're able to pick up, looks like crates of something heavy enough that they don't float down beneath the wreckage of the ship where it's impaled on the rocks. And if you had to guess, the heavier supplies, the metal, things like that, that's where it would be.
Do I get the impression that it is at all possible to make my way to the inside the ship parts without being seen, or is it just completely open?
It would be really tough and incredibly dangerous to try it.
She's just gonna spend as long as she can, so maybe like a half hour total before giving herself 15 or so minutes of air to swim back. She's just spending, yeah, just gathering information and its patterns.
So there with the water pushing you back and forth, threatening to drag you out and then will crush you against the rocks, you observe this creature as it circles and the smaller things dart about, sometimes separating from it and sometimes returning. Let's see.
How does it look like it would be possible to lure just one of these creatures away?
It's
Probably
hard.
not.
It's
Or do they
hard.
swarm too much?
It's hard to know. There are many of them, and they're staying close to the creature. Maybe if there's something that got their attention but not its attention, but you're not exactly sure.
How far away are they generally?
You're about, we'll say, 150 feet.
I think. Hmm.
And right
I think
now,
she's going to.
so right now you're just mostly seeing silhouette of the sunlight kind of coming through the water behind these things.
Yeah. I think she is going to retreat a fair distance up until she's like maybe 20 feet from shore. Is this, are there any beaches or inclines going up, or is it just pure cliffs?
It's cliffs, but it's not perfectly sheer. There are places you could climb, and even with like a crawl and things like that to get back up.
I think that she probably wants to. I think she's gonna go for the lowest part of cliff that she thinks she could ascend the most rapidly. She is going to go right up to the base of it, kind of ensconce herself amidst some of the smaller rocks around the base of it. I assume like there's little, things, etc. And then they're pretty far away now, I would imagine.
Yeah,
But
about 300 feet now that you return to the rocks.
she is going to take out her dagger and just make the smallest cut on like the pad of her thumb, and see if that draws any attention.
Yeah, it takes a few moments. At first, you're not sure what's going to work, and then you see a change in the movement of the creatures. The large one is still kind of curving away from you, but several of the small ones, about 5 of them, kind of separate. And at first, their movements are erratic, and then they start to almost be searching and drifting your direction.
Okay. She sees this and then is going to squeeze out a little extra drop from her thumb, and then will turn around. Having done that, she's going to turn around and start climbing up the cliff.
All right, yeah.
How tall is the cliff here at this point?
70 feet or so. Oh, sorry, no, you went to the lower part, so probably more like 40 feet here.
Okay.
But in terms of, yeah, so you practiced sort of this sort of thing. There's a big wave that sort of carries you in and curls up against the rocks, delivers you up, and you're able to grab hold. And as the water pulls back away, you hang on for as hard as you can with all the weight of all the water in your body now left to actually be held by gravity and your grip on the cliffs. Go ahead and roll an athletics check from.
Do I get to Does this count as for climbing or for swimming?
No, this is for after the swimming part. This is when the water pulls back away and leaves you hanging on the cliffs.
Right. Does this also count as for climbing, though?
Yeah, this is climbing.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, that's plenty.
23.
Yeah, your muscles strain and you're easily able to hold on to the rocks as the water abandons you to climb, and before too long you've made your way back up. Even a glance down, once you're into the green grass at the top of the cliffs, you can see the fins of some of those creatures breaching the surface as they're searching among the rocks there and being carried by the waves.
I think she's gonna run and grab her javelins, which she only has 2, and then standing on top of the cliff, she's going to try and spearfish, basically.
Nice. All right. Yeah. You see an opportunity for one as they kind of breach the surface. Make an attack.
That's pretty good. 22.
Ooh, 22 will definitely hit. Yeah, there's their javelin spears into the creature, and you see it thrash kind of in the water, and there is a dark, almost black blood that begins to spread through the water. And it sinks down beneath the water. Kind of lose sight of it. Looking down into the water, there's not very good visibility, so you lose sight of it there.
Does that change the behavior of the other ones around it?
Not really. At first, they had separated and were kind of searching that area, not moving necessarily as a group in that moment. But you do see more of them kind of breaching the surface, and they do kind of move in the direction of the one that you hit with the javelin. It looks like, at least where it was, but you don't see. Yeah, the details of what happens after that, you're not really sure.
Okay. So they've basically not the opposite of surfacing. Dive under. Okay. I think she's going to wait and see if they surface again at all, like maybe 5-10 minutes, and then if not, then she climbs back down and pops back into the water to see if they left anything or yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, when you get back down,
The javelin's still in her hand.
you begin to work your way back down the cliffs. There's a moment where you're able to drop into the water, at least presumably kind of in at least the area where some rocks are between you and the place that you kind of previously were, where the creatures were. And you're able to sink down kind of between two underwater ridges of rock. And you can see that the creatures are still in the area, but they've kind of drifted kind of back towards the wreckage. You can see one of them still has your javelin in it, if that makes any sense.
Is it trailing behind? Oh.
They're not. It doesn't look like they're moving very quickly or with a lot of purpose. So they're kind of still like meandering and searching. It looks like, but you definitely heard it with the javelin.
I think if it seems like there is a reasonable chance for her to catch that one alone, then she would take it. If not, then she is just going to then she won't. But
Yeah, isolating that one just by itself, unless there's something that would cause the creatures to leave it behind, probably not.
does it look essentially in game terms bloodied? Like, did it look like it was particularly badly wounded?
No, not badly wounded to the point you would describe it as bloodied, but you definitely heard it.
She floats there for a moment, sort of like bracing herself against the rocks as the waves shove her back ceaselessly over and over, and looks out. Her gaze turns away from those creatures for a moment toward the ocean and into the deeper depths where it turns dark where the sun has never actually pierced. And then she takes a deep breath and sighs, which doesn't come out as bubbles due to the little magical soap bubble playing around her head. And then she turns around and is going to climb back up.
Okay. And once more, the waves deliver you to the rocks. You begin to climb. Let's see. So, not meanwhile, but 2 days later, the Temple of the Maiden.
Stress just sinks away with the music change.
There was a brief exchange where Beth had seen something odd. It's hard to describe. That was a few hours ago now, I'll say. You've had a moment to get some food and rest. Dirge is long snoring in the still slowly dwindling drunken state. You managed to disable, with some of his direction, the other traps that he had set throughout the temple. George spent some time.
Sorry.
George spent some time sitting outside in the front after. Presumably, you told him that the Aranakis are not waiting at the door, but he has to be alone with the remains of the other rough cuts.
It's a quick out-of-character question.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that there are probably some differences for how people approach this, but generally speaking, in this part of the world, when people die, is it typical, like, burial, or is there anything... What do you think would make sense for disposing of bodies in a way that's not... that wouldn't offend people in a very traditional way?
Postmortem cannibalism is usually the issue if you bury them.
Okay.
I mean, it's Araya's temple. Why don't we ask her?
Oh, that's true.
The rough guts might have traditional means.
Yeah, I assumed. I just wanted, if for the purpose of my character, to figure out.
I'm giving you the shepherd's end perspective.
Yeah. So even typically they bury people, and that wouldn't be unusual. Okay, cool. Thanks. How late is it in the evening right now? It's bedtime, or?
Is it like right after dinner? But I guess since Kabeth isn't here, then it wouldn't make sense to pick up right then.
Yeah, Kabeth's retired to one of the rooms to rest.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so that there's out-of-character information. Kabeth, however she wants to do it, describes seeing something strange regarding Araya and Casey, but it was just like a blink of an eye, and then it was gone. We'll return to that conversation some other time. So this is, we'll say, an hour after that.
Should we just use your Space Madness scene? Because that was perfect. If we could just go into that. I really liked it.
I think it makes more sense that we're, like, making Kabeth try to sleep. Like, she's been so... I mean, I'll do this in character. Like, I don't care if she's gonna run around in that room. She needs to take a rest if she's seeing things.
I don't think a rest would hurt her, so yeah. I mean, and she seems like she's willing to go and do that, so,
Yeah, maybe after a little bit of sleep, or even just not running 1,000,000 miles an hour for an hour might be enough to, I don't know, refresh her mind in a way that she starts making sense.
Well, there's some weird stuff going on around here. Araya, do you have... Oh, Chris, again, sorry, out of character. How late is it? Is it time to sleep, or is it no?
Let's see. It was close to sunset when you guys got here. Yeah, so it's nighttime now. It's we'll say 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
It's always night in the caves.
No, Ava needs to know when to turn into a werewolf.
Were owl.
Thank you. Yeah, no, she's probably pretty tired. So are there Araya, what was like your room or something? I don't really want to be in here. I don't trust that other weird trap things or whatever are gonna happen.
Well, of the rooms that we checked earlier on, it didn't seem like anything untoward was in them. Does it make you uncomfortable to stay in one of the priestess's old lodgings? At least until they get back.
I guess it just really hurt. It's fine.
My room seemed untouched, and I didn't seem as though he had spent any time hoarding rotten anything. I could find some candles. It would help with this smell. Have incense? Or does that make it worse? Oh,
no,
Ava.
that would much worse. It's fine. Yeah, I'll just take one of the rooms, I guess, and then tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow?
Oops. Esmond is sitting at the table, but he's moved away from everybody, and you see him with a bunch of scrap metal and like sewing stuff into his bag, and pushing that aside and messing with more stuff on the side. And without looking out from that, he just kind of announces to the room, you know, the healing baths here might not be a bad idea. I know that everyone is probably exhausted. Baths for everyone probably isn't the worst idea before we go to bed, and then we can regroup, figure out what to do after everyone has a chance to bathe and rest up some. And then tomorrow we can follow whatever plans that we end up coming with tonight. Shit.
What? You were like saying...
Was that out of character?
Yeah,
or?
in character or out of character with the shit?
That was all in character.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Then my what stands. What? What is it?
Oh, sorry. I stabbed myself. I've never been particularly good at sewing. I'm fine. I'm final touches on my current project, which everyone you should all stay over there still. Yeah, everyone just stay over there for now, please.
Unstable? But you're sewing it. I don't...
Well, I'm sewing the piping into the bag, and that's going to be the... So do you recall that 3-foot hole in my wall and my workbench back in town?
Are you gonna give me grief about not measuring that one time?
Well, I mean, if this fails and you see him pull out a little small metal knob, if this fails, could have a similar situation, and this time I might not be as lucky, and we'll actually end up losing a digit or two, or more. But I think I've got it this time.
When do you plan on finishing it? Like right here and now? Like at the table inside the temple?
And you see him press that bit into the back of the bag. It's like, right about now,
Wait,
actually.
wait!
And you see a lightning zap through his hand into the piping of the bag, and he immediately steps back.
I sort of like clamber up from the table.
Ava's got her fingers in her ears.
Down the hall, Peach elbows Sal. You know, I always said there might be a spark between Ava and Az. Or Araya and Az. All the way around. Open circuit, maybe.
Tentatively, she takes out one finger when she sees Esmond, I guess, not reacting, and takes out the other and kind of just looks down the table.
How long did it take for the last one to explode?
It was almost immediate. Also, it didn't explode. It just kind of fell in on itself and ate a bunch of other stuff with it before it disappeared. It wasn't loud. It wasn't. It's fine. It's not doing it this time. So I think I got it this time. Honestly, seeing the portals on the way here, not just one but two, was incredibly insightful. I think I got it. I'm not familiar with extraplanar theory, much like most of us aren't, I don't imagine, because it wasn't a particular study of Gilgame's.
You studied this?
Little bits and pieces. Again, it wasn't something that Gilgame taught necessarily. I had to... I found a lot of it in books, and what the books had were out of date or inconclusive to the degree of what I was trying to accomplish here. But seeing these portals, seeing the errant horizons that they created, kind of cleared up what I was missing, and I cheated with a little bit of engineering, and by creating a connector key, and using a little bit of my own magic, I have created a bag that can hold more than it should be able to.
Oh.
Yeah,
Congratulations!
You see Esmond just start piling stuff into the bag, and it doesn't overflow at all. He just keeps throwing stuff into it.
Casey will immediately spring into action upon seeing this and start grabbing stuff and running over to the bag to also shove things in.
Like infinite things? How?
Well, no, it's not infinite, I don't think. Probably not. I don't think I'm that good at this yet. But definitely more things than a bag that can generally hold 20 pounds. It can hold more than that. A lot more.
That's not very scientific of you.
Yeah, we really should measure it.
I mean, in my defense, this is all very new. I will figure out the details, but for now,
Yay!
we should be able to bring a bunch of stuff back with us to town. Crops and artifacts and other things that, Araya, you may want to bring as well. Stuff that you want to be more secured, I suppose.
Oh, well, I guess we could talk about it, but I just assumed that maybe we would sort of straddle the two settlements and that I might be staying.
We can talk about that more, but I don't know if any of us are super comfortable with you staying on your own here.
Well, no, not. I meant that we still have crops in the temple, and someone should be here when the priestesses come back. And
I suppose, but I don't know if it's wise to split up our group like that. I don't know. We can talk about it more when we all have more energy. But
Oh, yeah. There's like the public pools that aren't necessarily healing, but they are relaxing out at the front. I guess everybody could. Yeah, we could talk about it later.
Okay. Well, I guess ladies to the pools first. I don't know.
Oh, there's more than one. I mean, they're separate areas. The boys can go on that side, or anybody who wants to be with the boys can go on that side.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Let's all do that then. Yeah. Totally.
I mean, we can all be in the same tub together, though. Like, as long as
No.
we're wrapped up, doesn't matter.
I have things to attend to, and she just leaves the room.
Purple and just kind of shrinks down in on himself. I don't know if I want to do that.
Peach looks sidelong at Sal and goes, I think I pushed it too far. Might be in a little hot water.
Yeah, you made 2 folks in this room change colors.
That's a good thing, though. Reminds you you're alive.
Casey shoves another cup into the bag and turns to Esmond and grins and says, Can you put water in here too? I'll just... Do you want to take it to the tub?
I don't know if... I mean, yes, we could store water in there. I don't know if we want to just store loose water in there. It's probably better to have everything like containers or jugs of some sort. But I mean, it's stuff to play with. I'll make more notes tonight. I'll have a better idea by tomorrow morning. But if we can store stuff, more stuff.
Come on. Let's go to the bath. You kind of stink. He slaps Esmond on the back.
On the butt?
Back! And then the butt.
Butts on the back.
Missed opportunity.
Some real locker room japing here.
Hey, like, I mean, they're...
That's buds. That's buds.
Cousins
Anyway.
in an English version.
And they would go down in history as just really good friends.
Yeah, I guess, depending on if Ava's gonna go after, Aurea to find out where the other baths are to take a bath if they...
Just going to.
Yeah. So where does, wherever she finds Aurea,
In her room.
yeah, she sort of like looks around and she'll have figuring out where she's gonna end up sleeping, but she turns to Rhea, who in the room, and it's like, so the other pool that you said we can use to get clean, which...
Oh. Yeah, no, it's really easy. There's I guess the main temple area is kind of filled with a portal, but no, there's pools that we allowed a lot of the visitors to come in. There's like the open, well, I guess maybe it's not so safe outside like it used to be, but there's internal pools to the right and the left of the main temple area.
We
I guess
passed
you
all of
didn't.
them?
Which pool was our friend defiling?
There are several pools. You're not limited to the ones that he was using.
All right, actually,
he was just using the main sacred prayer pool.
yeah, okay. That a-hole. Actually, I could take you. Any of the preferably girls want to come. We could just go to the pools that the acolytes always use to get ready for for temple. That's the easiest, I think.
I mean, we should stick together, though. I think we should all stick together in a group. Just keep an eye on one another.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Ava
wasn't-
pulls out a small water bottle from nowhere and just squirts Peach a little bit with it.
Oh wait, what? No, I thought you meant the boys all stick together and the girls all stick together and what?
No, I mean, pools can be in the
She,
same room, right? We should still be able to talk to each other. Oh, shoot. They're not going to hear anything from our voices. We should be able to still talk to the boys. There's got to be some place where we can put, like, a screen up or something. That way, if one of us gets bit by an Arnakis or an angry dwarf comes in and starts hollering at you for being the Antichrist, then the other ones can rush in. We should be within earshot, at least.
I'm fine just taking a bath separate. I just want to get clean. I'm pretty tired, so I might miss the orgy that you're setting up, but just
Ava Porter, I said nothing about an orgy. Where is your mind gone to? I thought you were a medical professional.
Just
an academic.
I too have read the books you've recommended, though.
Mm-hmm. She knows where they go. All right, but yeah, just tell me where to bathe, and I'm gonna go. And she just takes her clothes and either takes instructions from her, or if she leads her there.
I think Abina's room might be the best room for you. She was really clean, and I don't think the dwarf had any business in there. I mean, even the note that she'd left behind for me was left in there. I think it'd be okay if you sit just in the room next to mine, and I'll find you guys for the pearls just a little bit, okay?
Sure.
She, busies herself in the corner, untucking random stuff from drawers and shelves and whatnot.
All right. Ava will move into the next room for sleeping purposes, and then find her way to whatever the more private bath area is to bathe herself.
Yeah, there are a variety of opportunities for sort of, as long as people are willing to give you privacy, they're private. You turn through a hallway and there's an alcove and there's a bath, and so as long as no one wanders over there, potentially plenty of privacy. There is one sacred bath of the waters, sort of represent the purity of the maiden, and that's the one that Dirge was bathing in.
He and I are gonna have some words.
Yeah, the one pool that you're not allowed to be in, that's the one that he chose, apparently.
Well, if you want to play it out, Aurea would have grabbed extra robes from what she found in different rooms to give to you and to Peach for the bathing.
Okay. Let's actually do. Yeah. So Aurea, you've moved to gather some extra maiden's robes, kind of for your friends, and you are passing through the hall, and you pass outside of the room of Saloise. Door closed. You realize the door's been closed since Saloise left, and we always thought maybe she would come back. Now the whole place is empty.
She puts her hand against the door, pauses there for a second. No, yeah, Saloise will know what to do. And she passes by and goes to find Ava and Peach.
Okay. Yeah, you arrive with an armful of robes.
All varying shades of faded blue. They're acolyte robes, not fancy priestess robes.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll get clean, and then if people are doing whatever, I'll come and join. But I want to stop stinking before I hang out with more people. Wash my clothes, maybe.
Yeah, and if it helps you, then we could all be clean. It'll help with your new senses. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, no, it's okay. I mean, it's just it's been a while it's been going on, so I kind of got used to it. And again, that's why I do things like the mask, but it's fine.
Is it always the same levels? Does it get better or worse? Is it changing over time? I mean, you're the doc. Is this thing getting worse for you?
No, I wouldn't say it's getting worse. It kind of came on a while ago and it stays pretty consistent, but it just has the headaches that it causes, like the actual headaches, they're not like in a metaphorical way, but like it seems to be those come and go, and some of those can be pretty bad, but there's no real, I don't think they're getting any worse. I haven't noticed any symptoms like that, so I feel okay about it for now.
I think the baths will do you some good. I hear that just relaxing can alleviate a headache. Do you ever relax, Ava? She's like saying as she's walking them towards the like acolyte pools.
Ava goes, I was 12 and she joked.
Ava! She like her tail like swats her.
She rolls her eyes and sort of like scooches when you hit her with your tail.
Yeah, you should have come to visit me a lot more often when it was much nicer. Less marinated.
I guess. I always felt like I was busy. But I'm glad I get a chance to come now. Thank you for this. I'm sure it'll be nice. And, I just thank you for earlier helping me and stuff. It's great. Thanks.
No, it's what friends are for. And I mean, I really owe you all for being able to make it back up to the temple or making that a priority. It wasn't what we expected, but at least we're here. We can. Yeah, so this is my favorite pool. It's like not as decorated, but there's like tiles and stuff like around the edges, but it's mostly natural hewn rock, but like shaped.
Nice.
Yeah, and the sort of the way the pools function is the water kind of feeds in, dripping down kind of from the ceiling, and there's a very slow trickle drain kind of at the bottom, so the water is always flowing in and refreshing, and they're naturally heated.
Yeah, she starts to get disrobe and get ready to bathe, basically. And assuming that is what the purpose of. I understand that out of character. Okay.
So long as there's no boys in here.
Peach would actually take Araya's arm slightly and turn away from Ava and say, let's give her a little more privacy, even if it's all just us girls here. I feel like. I don't know.
Ava doesn't seem to care one way or the other.
Peach is also looking for an excuse to pull Araya over for a conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry, Eva.
She sort of like shrugs and it's like, it's fine. Continues to get into the waters.
So as they're slightly separated, Peach in a low voice directly just toward Araya. And this is also with Kate, the player, realizing that Ava will definitely be able to hear this.
We could just include her by default.
No, this is better if it's ever heard. So Peach would say quietly to Araya, "Hey, what all's going on with you in that ring? Because even Peach put together that there's something wrong with these jewelry that you all have and the new skills that you all got, and it causing you some kind of grief too."
And just for out of character clarity, Ava, because of the acoustics, you can distinctly hear what they're saying.
Are you wearing the tiara currently too? Like, do you never take it off?
Yeah, she would have disrobed, but she always pretty much has this on. She'll take it off if you watched her. Not that you would stare her.
Like washing your hair and stuff.
Yeah, she'll take the thing off and sort of like set it aside and sort of wash, but it's always within reach and rarely off.
So what is going on with you, Araya? This ring, are you safe? Are you secretly getting vicious headaches? Are you? And coming back here, are you all right?
No, it actually gives me a lot of hope that the priestesses went through the portal, and weren't attacked by Aranakasis. I think this is, I mean, it's unknown, but there's hope. But my ring, well, you saw how I had passed out, so obviously the ring is working as intended with its curse, but I have a little less control over things. But no, I'm making it work. I'm making do.
What do you mean less control over things?
What? Oh,
What do you mean less control over things, Araya? What sort of things do you need to be in control of?
The more infernal aspects of my nature.
What?
She sort of is like taking off the.
Oh, Araya,
element.
actually talk to me.
No, it's not anything like what anybody else is going through. I don't have this insatiable appetite like Beth, and I don't have headache. It's manageable. I feel lucky.
Just because it's manageable doesn't mean that you don't need to talk about it with someone. I mean, when I got back to the Wanderlust and my mom wasn't there, and I had to see that empty room and decide if I was going to sleep there or not, like, you must be feeling that 1,000 times over with Sarah Louise gone and everything different than the last time you were here. And look, you can let it go some.
Well, there's a time and place where we don't have to put on a. It's okay.
Look, I'm not trying to make you upset, Araya, but it feels like, I don't know, I don't have the sort of things that you can do and Beth can do and Ava can do and everyone else, but I know people pretty good, and you look like there's something right under the surface. I just want to make sure that you're all right.
I am. Well, I have you all, and you're here with me now, and I can help people, and like everything will be okay. We just have to take it a day at a time and help those that we can, and it'll.
What did you mean about infernal aspects of your character?
Well, my nature.
Yeah, but I don't know. You don't got to tell me or nothing, but what do you even know about your nature? Didn't they all teach you were some evil thing?
Quick question. Are you guys just standing in an adjacent hall just talking, or are you doing something?
We're like bathing,
walking a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought we were still like hanging.
Yeah, no, we're bathing just like, I don't know, maybe just a little further on. This is a quick conversation. And Jess, if you don't want to do the like ability reveal, you don't want to, I'm trying to set you up for a moment, but if you don't want to do, then that's fine. Then we can just have that we return.
I'll interrupt.
That's totally fine.
You two are having this conversation, we'll say, and you're doing your preparation for bathing in one of the adjacent pools, right? And it's Ava can still hear what you're saying. As Araya is like finishing disrobing, you, in the midst of your conversation, Peach, you see that in her tail is Ava's owl mask. Like the tail is holding Ava's owl mask.
I'm just gonna steal your shit.
All right, tell me about that infernal thing. Does that have a mind of its own? Of his own, her own, their own?
No, it's still me. It just might be the me that I don't mean to be.
Are you that secretly wants to steal Ava's things?
No, I don't. What?
You didn't.
I'm telling you.
What? No, you don't understand. I don't. It's just that
This is what I'm talking about. You keep it all suppressed, your tail's gonna do evil.
I think
Ava's washing the soap out of her eyes. What did you take?
she's gonna like holding her tail and like rinsing your owl mask and like wiping it gently with some dry ropes off to the side. You know, okay, so it's not that bad at all.
Oh no, all of it's got wet.
I can find you new herbs. They're winter ones outside. I'm sorry. I know it's your things. I do. I just
She sort of frowns for a second and sort of like looks, and noticing Araya's discomfort, she like shakes her head and is like, it's okay. And then she sort of like just holds her hands out so that she can take it, and then she will playfully, but not actually hit it, but sort of swat at the tail, not really hitting it, but not hitting the tail, just in the direction of it, basically, and like bad tail.
it doesn't help.
Oh,
There's no. It's. I don't want to say that it's a mind of its own. It's me, and maybe it's something that is in me the whole time.
do you want to steal things? My mask?
I don't
Do you
think
like my
so.
mask?
I do.
No,
Well,
is it
I don't like not
like-
seeing your face.
is like when your ambitions are like a little low, like when you've had like a glass of mead?
I never imbibe. You know that.
Ava realizes now as she takes the mask back, is walking. She didn't feel naked until this conversation turned this direction, and now she's going to slowly kind of start like making her way back, setting the mask aside. She's going to start washing her clothes while she's still talking, but just a little less comfortable than she was a second ago.
Also, Peach never fully nuded. She had like some kind of wrap from her earlier bathing.
Oh,
Yeah, Araya's just blue.
yeah,
Blue.
same.
Yeah. No, that's just. I have spent every conscious moment trying to not be what they expect me to be, and I think that maybe it's just an outlet. It's manageable though. I have it under control. I do.
Oh, no, I think I know what you should do. She's like sort of washing her clothes a little bit. What if you try to appease it by doing things that you were kind of suppressing on your own, and see if that means that you don't need an outlet for it. You can kind of, maybe that would help. I read a book a while. I'm not going to get into it, but it's just an idea. It's based on science, I promise. It's not.
I like it.
What?
Yeah. Give
No,
into what you kind of want to do.
No.
Like just a little bit. Like it might be because it seems like a kind of thing that could be psychological. Like even if it's related to the thing that was actually cursed, which might be an entirely different thing. But if it is based on the fact that you have things that you're not giving into that you want to do, then not feeling quite so repressed in some areas might alleviate the symptoms a little bit. But you'd have to figure out like a balance for yourself. But it's an idea.
And if we want to get even more scientific about it, we could get Ez in here. Get him to take some measurements, some data.
No. What are you suggesting?
Have them take that
I've taken-
baseline.
She is starting to grab at her robes. No, I've taken these vows and I'm very serious, and already they think that I am the absolute worst possible thing that's ever happened to the town, and I haven't done anything. I don't even eat more than one apple a week because we're not supposed to have that much sugar. Well, can you imagine what would happen if I started to actually do the things that I wanted to?
I think I see why the tale's happening.
Also, girl,
Whose side are you on?
I'm just saying, you seem like
you did
think-
say you're the high priestess now.
I know, but
I
that's an
don't
over-exaggeration.
well, no, but you should start small, have 2 apples.
Hard cut to the other bathtub. Who's in it?
Thank you.
Casey is oh, sorry, hang on.
I didn't recognize Casey.
Oh, there he is. Thank God.
Casey is standing fully nude, hands on his hips like this, with a tastefully placed tree branch covering bits. He's like, only for you, as normally just dust does the job. And he kind of goes up to the water, puts a little toe in, then jumps, splashes into the water. Steam rises up as the water is heated a little bit more, and then kind of equalizes out as it dissipates. And the magma lines on him are kind of low, but pulsing red a bit. And he raises an eyebrow. Yeah, it's not so bad sometimes.
Esmond slides into the water and just... yeah. It's appreciated, and he starts unclipping his prosthetic, so it's just his raw hand, and he slowly dips that into the water and starts just massaging it. The water's always made it ache a little bit. What a handful of days this has been.
It's been something, hasn't it?
Is Sal in the bath with us?
Sal just stepped in. He took a little bit longer to get prepared. He's got a wrap around his head, and he plops in the water, but doesn't make a splash or make a mess. But yeah, now he's there.
Hey, where's Poppy?
And you hear like a pan falling down in the kitchen.
She's helping clean up.
I'm sure that's fine. Are you guys okay?
Yeah, I told her to be on her best behavior. I'm sure she is.
Casey leans back, kind of getting fully relaxed at this point.
Look, I know I kind of disappeared on you guys for like 6 months after everything went down. I just, sorry about that. I just want to make sure you guys are all right. Is all. And to apologize. I should have been there with all you guys too. So, I'm sorry.
No apology needed. I mean, we've all kind of dealt with it in different ways. It's just good to get you back. You've missed a lot, though. Have you seen Araya's tail? Like, it can grab things. It can... She could probably knock someone out with it if she wanted to.
This is a out of character question for Araya and the DM. Does Esmond know that Araya has a tail? Because as far as I'm aware, she didn't like have it interact.
Yeah, you might have never seen it because you were inside.
It's just so cool. I wish
Oh.
I had one.
I mean, in theory, you know that tieflings do have tails, but she wears long robes at all times, so I guess maybe without visual proof you assumed otherwise? This is your choice.
And this is Casey probably not thinking through what he's saying.
Ray is also the only tiefling you've met.
I honestly didn't even know she had a tail, so that's something. Huh. Wait, what do you...
It's
What? What? What's it doing?
water's a little hot, isn't it? Casey makes a movement, and a small little bit of water kind of floats up and turns to ice, and then drops into the... melts away.
Okay. No. Okay. Yeah. Change the subject. All right. Look, if we're being honest, you have never been one for studying. So where did you learn that? Just there.
This, and he does it again.
Yeah, the thing where you manifest ice out of thin air and dropped it into the pool of water. Yeah, where did you learn that?
You see, kind of when everything started going crazy and whatnot, I don't know, there was things that I would see other people do, or things that I would want to do, and so I basically set my mind to being able to do those things. It's like my mom and uncle used to talk about in the stories and the shows. Magic is just a force of nature. It occurs and ebbs and flows, and we are in that flow, and if we want to be able to control it or harness it in some way, it's simply a matter of will. And when you find that power, that will inside of you, and when you do, nothing is out of your grasp.
So if you really wanted to, you could will yourself a tail.
We'll see.
The amount of confidence you two have in anything that you say is absolutely astounding to me.
Your lack of confidence when you know more than both of us put together astounds me.
Well, I may or may not have had my confidence shattered a little bit with recent experiences. I don't want to sulk on that. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to follow your guys' example. And so I left the house for the first time in months.
By the look of it, it's doing wonders, and he kind of gestures over to the pouch laying with the clothes, presumably.
Yeah. We managed to accomplish a handful of things on this trip that I can actually say I'm proud of, if nothing else. So we got that going for us. Sal, you moved really quickly earlier today. No, yesterday. Like, Kibeth quickly. What was that?
Well, I wouldn't say it was that fast. It was just a burst. Tensed up, lean forward, let momentum do the rest.
You've seen him play spin turf, yeah?
You covered a lot of ground in like under 6 seconds. That wasn't just. I mean, it was a burst, sure. Just that was astounding.
Yeah. I don't know. Just did what I had to at the time. That's what we're all doing, right? You're figuring things out your way, Casey's figuring things out his, and I'm bumbling through as well.
And that shield thing you did was really cool. You have to show me how you did that. I would love to be able to do that.
I tried to let Ez wear it, and it won't fit on his hand. Shield's not all it can do. You just wait.
Like the
Oh
palms
shit,
of that.
why not? He's gonna reach over and grab the gauntlet.
It's nearby.
Puts it on the opposite hand he always puts it on.
Do you need that? Like, can you do it without it?
I don't know. Needed it so far. Taps his hand against the side of the pool and a sword manifests out of it, with the same kind of liquid shape manifesting out of the air. I ain't comfortable swinging one of these yet, so I haven't used this, I guess you'd call it a setting, as
What's the sword look like?
I imagined it as a kind of Roman-esque longsword, so like round pommel on the bottom and then the kind of wide half-circle grip, and then it barely tapers towards the end. But not the historical short sword. It's probably more of a long sword length.
Mm-hmm.
Sword and a shield. Very nice. I'm gonna try that when we get a moment.
Y'all feeling more healed in here?
No, not healed, but I also wasn't particularly touched or hurt in any way whatsoever in the past 2 days. I was just looking to relax because I really needed to calm down.
I meant more like purified, cleaned up. Spiritual healing, what Araya might describe it as.
I don't think this is the appropriate bath for that. There are a handful of healing and spiritual pools throughout the temple. I only ever have seen a couple in the handful of times that I visited, but I think this is just a general cleaning pool. But, you know, nicer because it's a temple.
I mean, there are some better pools around the temple than this one, but it's actually nice too for water.
No, just then, Poppy comes charging in the room, slides across the stone, kind of smashes into like a copper pot, which rolls over and makes like a loud clanging sound. You see Zephyrus comes darting into the room, circles around Poppy once. Poppy goes running, and Zephyrus chases after.
I believe your bird is bullying my my dinosaur.
Your dinosaur is literally 20 times larger than my bird, so I feel like that says more about your dinosaur than it does my bird.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm glad that they're getting along, though. I did have concerns about bringing Poppy along, but really seemed to show her who's boss, so good work there.
Pack dynamics. Follow the one that's stronger than you. Stay alive. Maybe when those claws come back, she'll try me again. We'll see.
Let me know if you need a hand. I'll back you up anytime.
Oh, don't go hiding anymore. Take the time you need. We're here for you, buddy.
And Esmond will sink below the water and not resurface for several minutes.
As you sink beneath the water, waves crash against the rocks. Wind blows across the grasslands and the cliffs right above the wreckage. It's dripping off your clothes into the grass. There's a full day's trek that would take back to Shepherd's End, and you stand at the top of the cliffs. The wreckage of the ship behind you. The journey ahead.
It looks down at the edge of the water that she had so recently left, still dripping. The water cool, blowing, actually probably extremely cold at this time of year. Goosebumps rising on her flesh, and Salnan says, actually nothing. She looks down and just nods and drops her pack again, puts on the little bit of a bubble, the translucent, slightly malleable bubble, grabs dagger and javelin and nets and then short sword at her side, and is going to climb down again, almost hastily, just catching herself with her fingertips on outcroppings. Slipping back into the water quietly, and she waits for one of the, preferably if those creatures are still circling around, she is going to wait for the one that she had already hit to circle nearest her.
As you splash back down into the water, you can see that the majority of those creatures have moved back to the large one, but the one that you hit with the javelin, it's keeping its distance from the giant creature that's circling. It's separated from all the others. You can still see a bit of black blood trailing out from the wound that you've left. It doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't want to return and get that close back to the big one.
If none of them are still looking around here, if they're starting to head back, then she strokes after them. Almost sinuously, almost serpentine-like in her movements, down below the surface.
Yeah. Moving through the water, among the coral and the rocks, you get about a quarter of the way back, and the one that you wounded is only about 50 feet out from you now.
She makes she just says a quick ha to try and grab its attention.
Yeah, there's a sudden sort of jerk of it in the water, and it turns its head your direction. Its long, sinuous body starts to snake through the water towards you. It has a longer tail than the big one, and larger fins at the end, but smaller, like fins on its body, if that makes any sense. But it does have long, sharp front teeth, almost like a saber-toothed tiger. And it starts snaking through the water. You can see your javelin stuck in the top of it, kind of oscillates back and forth as it swims.
She sets herself, and her head goes down a little bit, and her eyes focus sharply, the pupils slitting. She rages. And then the moment it draws close, she is within range. So Nets have this thing where they have a minimum range of 5 feet, but if you do it within 5 feet, then, or they have a maximum non-disadvantaged range of 5 feet, but if you do it within 5 feet, you're still disadvantaged because it's a ranged attack. Is this just permanent disadvantage?
Oh, interesting.
Maybe it's opposites.
I think that's probably meant to be an exception to that rule that they probably just not described very well.
Okay. I think then once it comes within range of her javelin, she is going to actually no, it's within 5 feet anyway. She actually just sets herself and she's going to try and swirl the net around and loop it around it and catch it.
Yeah, it's swimming close to you at these sort of indirect angles, and then when it gets about 15 feet from you, it dashes towards you with obvious hostile intent. But you're ready. Make your attack.
Can I use my inspiration?
Yes, if you'd like to.
I'll just reroll the same thing. Oh, that's much nicer.
Ooh, 21 will definitely hit. So you're waiting for it, and you're able to get that net expanded, and the creature almost dives right into it, maybe not understanding what a net is. It starts to get tangled in it. What the net, what conditions does it give?
It imposes restrained.
All right. Yeah, so this creature, tangled in the net, tries to bite out at you with its teeth, but it will roll disadvantaged. Just to check. Oh, do you have a swimming speed?
I do not, but I believe nets are one of those weapons that does not have a disadvantage on making an attack with underwater. I would have to double check that.
I'm just mean the relationship between a creature that can swim and a creature that has a swimming speed.
Oh, I see.
Does not, yeah.
Yeah, no, she does not have a swimming speed, although she can swim very fast underwater. Somehow.
Interesting. Do you have any abilities that grant you additional swimming speed or something like that?
Yeah, so the gloves allow me to... What's the exact phrasing? Climbing and swimming don't cost you extra movement. But it's not technically a swimming speed. I don't know if you hear about that.
Yeah. I thought it might be a racial thing. Okay, yeah, so its advantage will drop down to no advantage for this attack. And that is not going... Well, what's your armor class?
15, no.
Okay, that does not hit your armor class. So this thing lashes out at you with these teeth, but it's tangled up in the net. And yeah, you see the teeth snap just short of you.
Okay. I think then since it has been in her, it's now in the net, she's going to grab the other end of it and is going to start trying to haul it back to shore.
Ooh, okay, yeah. So you start struggling with it. It's has a strong swimming tail, but it's mostly wrapped up in this net. So let's do an opposed athletics check, but it's going to have disadvantage because of the net.
So technically with a net, it is restrained until it's freed, and it can use its action to make a DC 10 strength check to free itself.
Mm-hmm. I just mean you trying to haul it through the water. It is still struggling.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for a future reference. Okay. Opposed strength, athletics?
Athletics, yeah. Ooh,
and the swimming.
Disadvantage, so that's a 16 on the die for the creature.
Does this count as swimming?
If you have bonuses, yeah, you can include it here.
That's 16.
Ooh, interesting. So this thing is not proficient. So that's a tie. We'll give that to you then. Yeah. So you're able to haul this creature, and you're getting close to the rocks now, where you could, as the waves are delivering you up, you could grab onto the rocks. But looking at this thing, you know it's certainly heavy.
And also, it's still fighting. So she is. I think she probably has the ends of the net clutched in one hand. She still has her javelin, one javelin on the back, so she's going to grab the javelin that was stuck in the creature already, pull it out, and then slam it back in again.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, there's a fresh plume of blood as you pull the javelin out and then drive it back in. So make an attack. You would be disadvantaged, but you have advantage, so that'll equal out.
If it hits, I'm also going to use sneak attack on it. Right. Oh wait, I can't. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, no, because you don't have disadvantage.
Ah, yeah.
Oh,
well, I don't technically have. Well,
I guess yeah. If you don't have like a swashbuckler thing or something like that, then.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't have advantage because it canceled out, right? So
right,
I don't have anything of red.
Yeah.
It
15
was a
will
15.
will hit, and that's 5 points of piercing damage. More blood blooms out from the creature, and it is now what you would consider to be bloodied.
Okay.
On its turn, it is going to try to break out of this net. What's the DC? Well, it rolls a 2 on the die. It does not get free. You can see that it's badly wounded now, and its movements are starting to slow down. It struggles and spins the net, but it just seems to tangle itself up more.
Okay. She is having stabbed it once, then she swings around, is going to try and smash it against the rocks to still its struggles and stun it.
Okay, yeah, make an unarmed attack, basically. Ooh, 17, that'll definitely hit. With your rage, that's 8 points of damage. Tell me a story.
So, as she didn't leave the javelin in the next time she pulled at it, so this time she stabs the butt end of it in through some ropes of the net, twists it around to give herself extra leverage with one hand on the cluster of rope and the other hand in the twisted javelin plus net. She slams it around and with the motion of one of the waves, into some of the jagged rocks that are crop up all around the shore. It is partially bloodied, it slams into it so hard that the skin breaks, and there's like a faint, hidden underneath the sound of the waves, there's a pop, and its head goes limp to the side.
Nice. And it doesn't seem as though the creature never got a bite on you, so there's no fresh blood of yours in the water, and the other creatures don't seem to take a notice or approach. To tell a story as you climb up these cliffs with your prize.
She takes a moment, or probably quite a few moments, given the waves slamming against the bottom of this. She finds a place among the rocks to wedge herself and get a little bit of stability as she tries to figure out how to rig this thing up over her back. Eventually, she ends up with the net is sort of slung onto her back with a net around it and enclosing her torso. One of the javelins stuck on her, around her front to help keep it together. She's lashed a very rough tie in as much as she can with the ends of the weighted ends of the net. They have the little strings that hold the metal weights. And she's thrust her arms through some more holes of the net. So eventually, with this very ungainly sort of work, she looks up, moving with the waves as they push her toward the cliff and away again, and she times it so that when there's a particularly large swell, she releases herself from the place that she has braced herself and slams against the cliff, her gloves hitting the side, and magic in them channeling out and creating these tiny little barbs that help give her a greater grip on the cliffside as she slowly starts to clamber her way back up.
All right. And as you climb, there are the waves beneath you swell and smash against the rock. You can feel the spray cold against your skin. The incredible weight of this creature on your back bearing you down, but you're able to get your grip on the rock, climb your way upward. Before too long, there's the final satisfaction of getting your grip on the grass up above and hauling yourself up there. You made it.
She just lies face down on the ground for a while and realizes that the air inside this little bubble is trying to get thick and claws it off, sets it down, and eventually realizes the weight on her back is still kind of crushing her, so she rolls over and leans against it for a bit. And then after maybe 5 or so of rest, she pats it on the side gets up and tries to figure out how to get her pack and drag this creature back.
Before too long, making your way back toward Shepherd End. This creature's tail dragging in the grass behind you. Nicely done. Two days later.
Or you could rob somebody. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Go ahead,
No,
Chris.
perfect. That was it. Cannon. Back in the girls' pool.
No, don't do that. That's a bit much. I got carried away.
No, it's just I'm always weighted down by like the duties that I have as an acolyte and a priestess. I said the high priestess thing is sort of hyperbole. I'm just an acolyte. I don't even know all of the rites and rituals. I know all the cleaning rituals.
All right, but I was just a waitress, and now I'm owner and proprietor of the Wanderlust Tavern. Things change.
But there are secrets. There are texts that they took with them that are necessary to be devoted to the maiden, and I feel that if I don't observe the things that were ingrained in me in the least, then...
So do it, but just do your best. And let us know if we can help, I don't know if Doc over there's a maiden, but we can certainly throw on the robes and help you light candles if that's, an appropriate thing to do. We're here to help you too.
Just having you to help me will maybe move the dwarf to a more appropriate location within the temple and get it in some semblance of order. I think that we could make it a boon to our community and a haven for those who are suffering or hurt, just as it was lesser now without my sisters.
Well, I'm sure we can get it in good order. You've been training for this moment your whole life. She looks around at the mess and is referencing the cleaning duties that...
I've gotten really good with a broom, haven't I?
Yeah. I have some things to do tomorrow, but do you think we'll be ready? I mean, how long do you think it'll take? Like a day? Do you think we could get the place put back in order? Because we're gonna head out maybe tomorrow or something?
So soon?
I mean, we have to get back. We should probably tell the verdict, what we found, and then, return.
Well, we should, if we're gonna, make plans, we should put on some robes and go join the boys. I don't want to leave necessarily make decisions without the rest of everybody chiming in, and maybe some if you want to stay behind. I mean, we've got llamas to herd and vegetables to gather and stuff.
Now that we've got a clear enough path here, there's no reason why we can't set up the regular ways to and from, just with extra caution because of the wild aeronauticus. I mean, it's not going to be the same place that it was, Array. It's not going to be, Eve and I aren't your sisters, really, but, us and the boys, we're your family, and Shalati and Kabeth and Sifred too. We'll help you with whatever you need. We love you.
Thank you. The sisters don't really say that often. But there are times when you can feel it, so thanks. Yeah, so she starts gathering some of the robes and piling them on. We should warn the boys before we go back, I mean.
About what?
Well, we're not just going to barge in there.
Oh, I mean, that would be kind of funny.
Actually, yes, we are going to just barge in there. I think it's what I want to do. I think it's what your tail probably wants to do.
My tail doesn't get a vote.
Well, it's still 2 against 1, right, Ivan?
I was joking. I don't think that's appropriate, but
Seems like. Well, it would be really funny. I will go last.
what? Did you just outvote me?
Well,
Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. You both said yes at one time. We're doing it.
I have to attend all types of people as a priestess of this temple, and so it makes no sense that I should be. I'm in a robe. I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get dressed, I guess, and then I'll let you lead the way, Peach.
Aurea will make
Peach
enough
wouldn't really
noise
spy
on
on the
the way
boys
there.
Yeah,
without the
same.
consent. She would announce their presence.
Okay.
I'm making plenty of noise as we come. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Peach would make it clear they were on their way, but she.
Yeah. So as you guys are there in your pool, relaxing, it's really chill and nice. God, the girls are so loud. Like they are slamming doors. You can hear them describing kind of what they're doing. Like they're just inconsiderately loud.
Esmond is still underwater this whole time.
Yeah. I guess with robes, after pausing to hang clothes for them to dry, and I suppose wearing a kind of actually no. Yeah, no, I'll do that later. That's fine. Yeah, leaving clothes to sort of dry. It'll be in a robe with everybody else, and she's behind Peach, probably walking beside Aurea.
Casey was laying back at this point, resting, and then shakes awake, maybe, when he hears all the noise and when they enter. So glad of you to join us. Water's great. Come on in. Do mind your step, though, Ez is down there.
Last we saw him, he was over on that side.
I think he's doing. Is he doing the thing where he like holds his breath?
There's been a few bubbles in different spots, but I'm sure he's fine.
He ain't gonna electrocute me if I stick my toes in there.
That's a risk you'll have to take if you want to jump in.
Yeah, I'll risk it. And Peach does cannonball right in with her towel still around her.
Splash.
Just have to roll for attack.
Let's see if she hits Esmond.
It crushes Esmond.
Crushes?
I mean, a human leaping onto another human. Well, I guess neither.
just like a cannon. Aurea's like with her back turned, sitting at like one of the benches near the pool. Be like, okay, so I kind of thought that you heard us coming.
Yeah, Peach is being a goof. She's not being unsafe.
Yeah, there's no way we couldn't.
Well, but I mean, you could. I have more robes if your clothes are still dirty.
Esmond splashes up, standing up at like waist height in the water, just coughing. Why did you? Which one of you jumped in? What?
That was me. I didn't mean to, make waves or anything, but we were all talking without you, so you needed to pop on up.
We have visitors.
Okay. Does anyone here read Celestial?
I do.
Yeah, all the delicate filigree that runs along the edge of the pools. It looks decorative, but it says no running, no leaving.
I love that.
You see Esmond, and he is bright purple currently, and you're unable to tell if that's due to the heat of the pool or other reasons. And seeing everyone here just kind of slowly sinks back into the water and just has his nose peeking above the water.
The waters are almost milky with all the minerals and stuff that are in it, the natural, that kind of stuff. So it's pretty opaque.
We didn't want to discuss plans for everyone without everyone, and we kind of thought you heard us coming. I'm sorry. We can wait.
Sinks completely under.
She's not even facing. You only see the back.
Peach kind of looks around at all the different boys and just says, "They knew we was coming, Araya. We were literally in that hallway being like, we are on our way. If any boys don't want us to see their butts and or tails, they need to make sure to cover those butts up. So any butts on display, you had fair warning. Everybody did."
So is this an official meeting now, or?
No, we can wait. I'm sorry.
I mean, we've been showing off a few new tricks. Do you guys have any new tricks? Magic you can do?
I feel like anything is possible with the maiden. This is not an appropriate venue for crazier things. Take care of my pools.
Araya, your tail is behaving. I think my theory is working.
She turns a weird shade of purple. Thanks for that.
No, she says that it would be an aside to her. So she says that, not announcing it to everybody. But she's also doing it in a teasing way. I roleplayed it terribly.
Leans against the wall. She's like, no, okay, so I see the sense in what you're saying, but I'd rather... No, I'm good here.
Okay. That's fine. We can also just, honestly, we can really leave if you want to, do this. Don't want to be here. It was supposed to be fun, but, it's fine.
Sal, show him your sword.
Oh my god, wait, Casey, come on.
No, he can make a sword out of nothing.
Wait, if all of them go purple from sheer embarrassment, do we win a prize? She's saying this to Ava.
I'm embarrassed, Sal says as he goes and reaches for the gauntlet on the side of the pool.
I'm not turning around.
He needs to go.
He does the sword trick again. So manifests out of the gauntlet. He meant this. It's not.
I don't know what you mean by this.
There's a shink. You couldn't hear the shink sound.
It was pretty obvious.
He's holding a sword. The gauntlet turned into a sword.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Should be able to do it without the gauntlet, though. We just have to figure out how.
I don't know if that's all right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, you all were talking about maybe the ways in which you feel more capable.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I feel like everything's just kind of... It's like when you learn something and then everything kind of starts to click. There's so many things that I feel like are just kind of falling in place all the time. I feel like I'm right on the cusp of figuring out a few other things that I'm already trying to work on. It's really exciting.
Yeah, your outfits have gotten a lot better too. The mask, really like it.
Yeah. She looks a little sad when you mention her mask. She thinks of drying in the other room. Yeah. Actually, the outfits did get better. Oh, I guess I can show that at some point, but not right now. I'll do it later. But no, the outfit's really fun. It's the outfit's got a secret to it that I'm kind of excited about. It's a small thing.
You've been holding back?
Well, but it's the outfit it's drying right now, so I can't do it. But I will when we're, clothed and like not like now when I don't have it.
You see a pair of Genasi eyes peek up above the water, and when it sees that the ladies are still here, they duck back down immediately.
I mean, so tomorrow we're not leaving right away, right? I mean, there's still plenty to do here at the temple. We don't necessarily have to leave. I've got a lot. The pools need to be consecrated to start, and
I don't see why there's any rush to even go back and send the verdict a message maybe when Kabeth's feeling up to running again. Let him know that we made it here alive, but he's still got, 2 weeks of recovery before he can even get back on his feet enough?
That's true. But
we had got time to clean it up.
Yeah, we can definitely stay. I would feel like to clean it up, but I feel like we should go back sooner and then bring some more people to kind of be semi-permanent here, to sort of tend to all of the things. And then, that if we do that sooner, then we can sort of get them established. And we can also then maybe over the next couple weeks focus on making sure that the roads are safe. And like if there are more Aranakis or things along the way, then we can try to make sure that we get rid of them if we have to.
like the one that made the ground shake.
No, that one's I don't want to get anywhere close to that. That sounded way too much without having the verdict help us or something. That was huge, it seemed like.
Well, but then how could we safely bring any? Do you think we can protect people? It seems like a really big risk to bring. Is it weird to call them civilians?
I feel like you all are also overestimating this verdict. We saw very little from him with regards to effectively beating anything, but Salinger tamed one of these Oranakuses. Heck, even I took one out. Alright? They're dangerous, yes, but we can train any able-bodied folks to be able to do what we were doing and successfully escort folks up this trail. It is possible.
In his defense, he was hit by a train, so that takes a while to kind of come back from.
I was hit by part of a train.
How are you feeling, Sal? I mean, that's no small thing.
Oh, so you are looking.
Neither's.
What?
Sorry. That's not a David joke. That was a dumb joke I couldn't help but say.
Heck you.
Casey does say, well, neither is Sal, but I think we can close that portal, make the road a bit safer that way. As far as the big one, I don't know, probably not much bigger than Slime Chicken in the center of town. I think we can take it.
Well, I'm really the first idea. I forgot that we should probably try to close the portal, but I don't think we should try to put ourselves in a situation to take on something that big if we don't have to. I don't know. I'm kind of nervous about that. I don't know about that one.
I'm just saying I don't think we need to include the verdict in this conversation whatsoever.
He's a verdict.
So?
They train their whole lives to fight and be able to handle situations.
Yeah, but we live here, Ava. This is our home. We care about it. As soon as he's back on his feet, he's going to leave chasing that necromancer. He's going to leave us behind, and it's up to us to look out for us. So why should we include him in any of our decisions?
Well, because he's a verdict.
Just out of character reminder. Maybe, some of you can remember this, some don't. The verdict specifically offered to help you clear the monsters out the surrounding area of Shepherd's End in exchange for your help with the necromancer.
If Ava reminds Peach of that particular incident, she'll be like, "Oh, okay.
Sure.
So she then, yeah, all right. I may have been may have forgotten that detail.
I mean,
That he specifically said he could do that.
but right now, the verdict is out, which means it's up to us.
Well, yeah, so we should take care of more of the small ones if we can, and that'll help. That'll make things safer, right?
I know Ez and I can close that portal. That's probably where they're coming in from.
Alright. There's a rub with that. We close it. Those that are here stay on our side. And I noticed a trend. Now, it's only happened twice, so it could just be a coincidence. But anytime y'all go messing with that portal, those big old footsteps start coming. I think it's drawn to it.
That's how we can get rid of it. Just sort of chase it back home.
I mean, it's not really big enough to push it back through at this point.
That's true.
But maybe Ez can come up with something. Casey motions his hand, and the water where Esmond last was kind of sinks down to see if his head is there.
It is, yeah. And when he sees the water kind of clear up around him, he ducks to the side where the water still is.
As we have questions. Oh, wait, she doesn't know if he's coming up or down. She just assumes he's hearing this all.
Maybe we should do this somewhere else so Esmond will actually listen. I don't think he seems very comfortable.
Wait,
He's under the water.
Why didn't anybody tell me? Now I feel terrible.
He's fine.
He was doing this submersion routine for a good 15 minutes before y'all showed up.
Yeah, but you think he'd want to be a part of the conversation? No.
I think it's because of us. He keeps surfacing and doing creepy eye looks at all of us, and then he goes back under the water.
No, it's breathing practices for being submerged. It's nothing to do with you. If you just give us a moment, maybe he can finish up and we'll be able to discuss.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll give you a moment to finish your breathing exercises.
I'll help prep some rooms for you all to rest in.
I'll help.
And Cyfred's watching after Kibeth, so you don't have to worry about it.
So, Arya runs, hightail.
Okay. Eva kind of stands up and brushes off her robes and straightens it a little bit and sort of does a small wave. And it's I guess we'll meet you guys in a little bit. And she follows after.
Each jumps out of the pool and follows Araya, but at a much slower speed. She's not racing after her.
Casey, as they're leaving, Casey gestures his hand and two small balls of water kind of float up into the air and form a little sword shape and then freeze solid and shoot down into the water around where Esmond was. And he keeps doing this until Esmond comes up.
Just out of character note, just be careful about showing your address if that's on the front of that. Just in case.
Not anywhere you can see.
Cool.
Esmond jumps up after the second or third one. I will shock the shit out of you if you actually hit me with one of those.
It won't hurt. It's just you were under and they're gone. But we want to talk about what we're doing next, so.
Okay, great. 500 pounds. While I was under there, I was trying to distract myself. And I was doing calculations. The bag should be able to hold roughly 500 pounds.
So I could fit in there.
Me too.
Me and Sal.
I mean,
You'll have to make the opening a little bigger, though.
I don't know if I want to stick my living, breathing friends into the vacuous
I mean, you stick your hand in there, right?
It's not quite the same as a breathing being or creature, but I mean, we can discuss that. I'm gonna get dressed.
Yeah. Casey gets out of the water and kind of walks over to the side there, branch in the ideal spot.
Yeah, the people still in the tub when Casey gets out. You realize the water cools down a little bit.
And yeah, over there, and it kind of shakes off a bit. The water beads up and steams, and kind of little droplets lift off of him and steam away as his magma lines brighten up and his hair kind of shakes out. And in a moment, he is fully dry.
As Esmond walks out, little beads of water just kind of start to flick off of him. There seems to be like a breeze that's not coming from anywhere, that just kind of is slowly drying him off.
Salinger steps out last. Basically has a coat of fur. I'll catch up with the rest of y'all, he says as he picks up a few towels and sets them around himself. This will take a little while.
Just like 40 pounds of water. Like,
Just wringing him out over and over again.
Please shake like a dog.
That is uncivilized. He would never.
When he gets out, like the actual water level drops significantly from both the water taken with him and his mask.
all right. Were you guys planning on meeting up after you dry off somewhere?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, 25 minutes later. Yeah, you guys are gathering in the, I'll say the dining area. It's like low tables with cushions on the ground. There's not chairs.
You were right, everyone. She's just saying this quietly to Rhea. Everyone does smell like so much better now. This was a really good idea.
The urge to ask you daily is very high, to be honest. Like, I just really care about your comfort.
Oh yeah, no, you don't want me to tell you that daily. It's like I can smell everything. It's really bad. Like, it's not even a problem, and it's a problem. It's just like for me, but like, no, but like for you, you're fine. You're like, you smell nice a lot of time, actually.
I didn't realize that I could be further embarrassed by something, but now that I am, and I do feel better, and honestly, please just tell me, because it's better. I want to know.
No, it's great. It's like a essence of brimstone.
What?
I'm joking. No, it's fine. It's good, honestly.
So what's the Esmond is not really looking at anybody in particular. What is the plan for tomorrow? Are we heading back, or are we staying for another day to help Array clean up?
Is Dirge gonna come back to town with us, or did he intend to stay at the temple? I think that I have rules if he stays.
I think that if we tell him to clean up and he knows that we will be back with others, that he will do just that. Not to mention that I think he is high-key scared of you, and we might be able to work that to our advantage if you wanted.
I don't think that's gonna... No, because it seems like everybody is... I don't want to be scary.
Well, then we'll just politely ask him to clean up and let him know that we would be back in an unknown amount of time to bring more people to kind of help him clean up and also start farming the crops and the land around the temple.
Oh, yeah, I will need just a little bit of time. I'll take some samples of the soil and check the plants and then do like a quick cursory view of the livestock. That way, I mean, that was the whole reason we came here, was to make sure that stuff was okay. So it'll take me a little bit of time. I'll be fine on my own doing the gardens, but Sal, like when I go for the livestock, the sheep were kind of like scary. So if you could also come, that would probably be...
Oh, Ava, I'll help you with the sheep. I remember savagery. I won that prize like a couple years back.
Oh, thanks. I usually would, but like I don't know,
I got the sheep shears too. Maybe we can calm them down and even get some wool from it. Let's go.
No, that's tomorrow, definitely. And not... No, I think that we'll do it. We can both do it, but first let me check it. And Sal, besides, I wanted to... Sal, I have something to give
Sorry
you
if
anyway.
you wanted to be with Sal.
Yeah, well, just a little bit, because like I have a thing. It's a thing that I keep forgetting, but I'm gonna loan it, or not loan it, because you'll
He's just
keep
kind
it.
of blushing now, and she's kind of brushed off and moved away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ava seems completely undaunted by it. So yeah, but that'll be tomorrow. So but that's what I have to do, or what I want to try to do before we go.
Additionally, I did a series of calculations and determined that the pocket bag, and he has it to the side and holds it up, can hold roughly 500-ish pounds, give or take. So we can also bring back a ton of fresh crops back to the village if we want.
Oh, you had time to measure?
Yes.
That's really neat. 500 pounds? That's incredible.
Give or take. It's a series of rough calculations that I'll verify once I can actually write them down and double check my work, but it should be more or less accurate.
Both Sal and I should be able to fit in there.
Everyone,
No. That's definitely more than 500 pounds.
everyone who has been to this temple before, aside from Maria, please roll an intelligence. Either investigation or arcana check, your choice. But you have to have been to the temple before.
Dirty 20.
20 from Esmond.
Ooh, well done, Sal. Nice.
Natural
work.
20 from Salinger.
Does Jack of all trades add automatically, or do I have to do that? Like,
You have to
separately?
set that up in your character sheet. I can walk you through how to do it, but if you don't already have it in there, just add half your proficiency bonus.
Thank you. I don't already have them. That's 7 + 1 for an 8.
Alright. Definitely Salinger, and probably Esmond too, dirty 20. You realize the last time you were here, it's not just that this place has fallen a little unkept. There's more dust. I mean, Dirge did make it kind of dirty, but you also realize the last time you were here, the waters were glowing. And now they're not.
Others of us don't notice this at all.
I love that you didn't, though. I took you to the back, like, I took you deep into the caverns. That's why.
It's very subtle. I mean, you haven't been here in years. Yeah.
Unrelated, Array, but I know it's been a long time since I was last here. But didn't the waters used to like have a sheen, like a glow almost?
I mean, with the priestesses gone, there are rituals to observe. It's absolutely... I mean, I don't want to say it to his face, but Dirge has basically defiled one of the most sacred pools here at the temple. It's complicated. I mean, I could try. There are things that I can do that I can maybe help.
How long would it take, do you think, to do what you need to do to consecrate the waters?
Well, it's, I mean, I don't know exactly when the priestesses left, but I think that there's a lot of things that have been unkempt. I'll see what I could do. There's a lot of knowledge that I'm missing. I'm just an acolyte.
I'm not trying to pressure you to get it done immediately. My inquiry more had to do with how long would it take you to do it versus how long would it take us to return to the village and close the portal that the Arnakas are coming through.
I might be able to make something tonight, but on the subject of portals, you don't intend to close the one that's in the main temple, and then how are we going to explain that to the people from the village that come to visit here? And is it safe to have that still here at the temple? And what if that's a problem for the temple working like it used to, and then...
I promise that I'm not going to tell anybody how to close the portal. It's a secret that is going to remain safe with me and whoever else I determine to divulge it to. At the very least, I don't intend on closing the portal in your temple, not when all your sisters, your family are still missing.
Thank you.
I'm going to, and he gets up and he starts stretching. I'm going to go to bed. I'm gonna...
Wait! No, we don't go to bed yet. Wait, I just forgot. I need your help with something. I don't know if we'll figure it out tonight, but like, I do, it's a magic thing.
Also, we swept out some of the rooms for everyone. They're just along the hall with mine. If you see stuff piled on a bed, that's not a room for you.
Okay, I'll make a space. Ava, we can go discuss magic. Okay, let's yeah, I will see you all in the morning, I guess. We can start collecting crops then, and then I guess once we've done that, and Eva, you've had a chance to look at all the livestock and the crops, we'll head out shortly after that.
Okay, I'm good with that. And she's really excited, clearly, to talk about magic.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. She follows you. Does anybody else have stuff to do?
I have private ritual things to do. You guys go on ahead. I'm gonna clean up here in the kitchen.
Before Ava leaves the room, she does the thing where you check to see if you have your keys in your wallet to make sure no one's stolen it, and then follows Esmond out of the room.
You are missing something.
Oh.
You don't have anything on you. You're wearing robes. God.
That's true.
Your robes are gone.
Too late. She's seen everything.
Yeah, if it's just, not even angry. She's just kind of impressed with the tale. That's a feat.
It's a tail.
Chris gets inspiration.
Give him those.
Sorry. Alright, yeah. Ava follows Esmond. She'll go and, I guess still wearing robes, I suppose. But she'll grab some stuff from her room and then follow Esmond to wherever he's set up. And this won't take very long. It's just setting something up. Okay, so in Esmond's room, she basically is like, she puts down some sheets and she's like, okay. She's like sort of pushing her hair behind her ear, but it's just short enough that it doesn't really stay and it keeps kind of falling in her face. Okay, so typically, obviously, like with magic, the way that I'm casting and the relationship that I have with it is like very intuitive for the most part, but you've already heard this, I already know, like different ways of trying to get at magic and like learn and use it. So another one that I'm kind of familiar with and I use, it just doesn't feel quite right for me, is learned magic. And anyway, once you kind of understand it, like you can shape it in different ways. So there's like a variety of things you can do with it. I don't know how much of this you already know or how much of the stuff you already do, but so like I have this idea for something that I was going to use, and it was one of the things I was going to try to work with Sal, or at least show him if I can get it working. But I haven't quite been able to finish it out. But when I tried to approach it from the learned perspective, and she sort of like starts pushing these pieces of paper down, it's sort of like a math problem almost. Like I felt like you'd be really good at this kind of learned stuff because it's like a puzzle, and once you put pieces of it together, it's like engineering, it just always works. So anyway, I can explain what these different things are, and maybe you can figure out what's missing from it, because it's like it's close but it doesn't quite work.
Yeah, we can talk about that for a little bit. I know that the base concept of magic is manifesting your will and using it to manipulate the base the base energy of the world to create whatever it is that you are looking to do. And within that are the different schools, the different studies of the types of magic. So it's not going to be exactly one-to-one, but I'll help out as best I can.
Great. Okay. I honestly don't think this will, once we go over it, I'm pretty sure we'll figure it out. Anyway, and so then they take not too probably very long, and she has Esmond help her with a spell that she'll have prepared the next day.
Nice. All right. Aside from Araya, that night, as everyone is winding down, are there any scenes that anyone wants to do for that night before we pass time? Okay. Sounds like a no. Okay. Much later in the night, after... Ooh, Casey, you hit your microphone.
One second. Let me roll for it and I'll see. I do. No, I don't. Casey's gonna go check on the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. Casey, late in the night, you make your way through the empty halls of the Temple of the Maiden Thrice. You reach the rear doors that lead back into the sacred chambers. You close them just because it's so bright, but they're not locked. And drawing on the heavy handles, there's a bit of a scrape of stone. The doors open and daylight floods through.
There's still light on the other side of the portal then.
Daylight floods through from a tear in the world right above the sacred pool. You see full daylight on the other side, desert sands, wind carrying fine sand across the top of shaped dunes, and in the distance, mountains.
Yeah, Casey stands in front of it, kind of grinning into it, and I guess if the wind blows through, it blows through, and like sand kind of swirls around his feet and his bare feet, and blows his hair back as little sparks and bright embers come off of him. Just this really is cool. And
Roll a perception check.
11.
Just a moment, you catch a flash on the horizon, like a mirror catching the sun. Just once, and it's gone. And then you see something move beneath the sand. Something big. Makes one of the dunes shift.
Casey walks forward towards the portal.
You can feel heat against your face. You can see the shimmering of heat on the sand in the distance.
How far off was that movement under the sand?
If you had to guess, 1/8 of a mile?
So not too far. Casey walks towards the portal, and if I understand correctly, he like steps up onto the ledge of the sacred pool that the portal resides kind of in across. And as he's walking towards it, he waves his hand nonchalantly, and the sacred waters, part to the side, so that when he steps on, it's just on the stone, not touching the water itself.
Ooh, I like it.
And he walks towards the portal there and gets up to it, and the brightness of the edge of it is kind of shining against him, and the brightness from the sun in there, and he reaches up. How can I make one of you? And he touches the edge of the portal.
Yeah, you run your finger along the edge, and there's almost like there's a buzzing in your finger, like it's like the feeling of like when your arm's been asleep and it's waking up. It doesn't hurt. It's just like reactive.
He looks far over the dunes towards the glint of light, and kind of one moment. I don't actually. No, he does. He raises an eyebrow for a moment and reaches down to one of his pouches that contains a few thin pieces of metal with little hooks on the end and other bits and pieces, and pulls out a small mirror on a long stick. And he kind of looks through the portal up at where the sun's plural maybe might be, and he sees if he can catch the light with that mirror. And if I have to stick my hand through, I will.
Yeah, you reach forward with the mirror and you see the event horizon of the portal kind of ripples as you put it through. And yeah, if it's on a stick, you probably don't have to go real far. And you start to angle it, and it's hard to know because you're looking at it from the back. But if you had to guess, yeah, if those, yeah, at first, like you see a flash, it's almost blinding in your eyes from your own mirror, and you catch 3 different suns, one of them almost setting, another one in the sky. And if you can see them all, then there must be even more than that. And you're pretty sure that you're flashing back kind of in the same direction. And
I'll do my best Lux code.
Alright. Roll investigation, please.
Totally paid attention in school.
Mm-hmm. What are you saying?
I'll basically, since I'm using Lux code, I'll just spell out this way.
Okay. And you kind of angle the mirror. Flash, flash. Angle, flash, flash. A moment passes. Another. You're starting to feel pretty sure no one saw it when flash, flash, flash. You get an answer. Roll investigation.
Oh, my best thing. I'm inspired.
Give it a roll.
And I'm lucky.
Good lord.
Okay. Natural 20.
Yeah.
Oh!
You get back a message. A L L space A R E space W E L C O M E.
Casey sees these flashes back and good to know. He looks down towards the sand where that large subterranean creature moved not too long ago, and he'll try to flash back. Meet soon, then.
Okay. I will make you roll for that.
And he steps back a little bit, snapping his fingers. There's little sparks as he does that, but no flame appears. And as he steps back, the water kind of fills in his path. and then he'll leave.
In a different part of the temple, Ray, you finish setting up a stack of scrolls that have been knocked over, and you finish cleaning this room, at least getting it organized. It still needs to do some dusting, and as you're tired, you realize you've been so busy throughout the day with everything that was happening. You didn't do your meditations.
She sort of worries her lower lip as she sets aside the broom. Part of her wanting and wondering if she can cause some, that if what little she knows, she can help bring back the presence of the maiden here in the temple. And so she heads to one of the smaller pools off to the side, and assuming a position of prayer and meditation, kneels in the water and closes her eyes and sets herself to fall into something kind of like a meditative stance, but reciting the prayers that she has known all her life, and thinking about that the temple is empty and it's just her. But she's thinking about her time at the temple and things that she's learned there, but that her mind keeps going back to the documents that Coronet wrote. And as she shakes her head, trying not to think about, she tries to breathe in and let herself find some peaceful center within her. If she never thought I was worth being a priestess, then why would she test me so hard? No, I can do this. I've been trained for this, and I can. But it's not fair that I'm judged by a different meter than the rest of them, and I try so much harder, and I never shirked my duties here, ever. And it was Abina that brought me that apple that one day, and she's kneeling in the water, and she starts sobbing and angrily balling her fists up in the skirt of her robes, and is just broken in the pool of the temple that is her home, and the place where she's safest, and the place that she knows the best, and it's the only place that she's ever known since her first memory. And she cannot find peace, and she cries into the waters of her temple.
There's a tear that runs down from the corner of your eye and down along your nose, along to the edge of your lip, and then down your chin, and then it falls from your chin. As it does, there's a flash in your mind, and you see Salouise and Coronet at the end of a long hallway, arguing, gesturing. You know, somehow it's about you. You have an early memory of Salouise holding you, and then the look as she glanced back at you as she left the temple. You feel the hard slap of the long, thin switch of Coronet's on your wrist, on your shoulder. The sound of her voice as she scolds you. All the papers on the desk, all the recordings, all of the things that went wrong, all blamed on you. You see the road, the bodies that you've seen in the dirt, the faces of the people in Shepherd's End who are gone. The face of Albina and your friends, the empty rooms, the long emptiness, and the echo of your footsteps in the halls. All the people that were here, gone. And one of your tears hits the water. It ignites into flame. Blue fire begins to spread out through the waters and across the surface and fills up the surface of the sacred pool. There's blue fires dancing on the surface, and it doesn't burn you, but fills the room with blue light.
Her eyes are clenched shut as she's crying, but she feels the heat and can see the light against her. And she, for a brief moment, feels that maybe the grief and her connection to the maiden is enough, that it has brought some sort of luminance back to the waters, that even in her anger and sadness, that it was enough. And when she opens her eyes and it is fire, it is hellish almost, she, in horror, backs away from the water and pulls herself out and silently stares at all of the fire and the water.
Moment carries on, and then one of the nearby tapestries, the heat ignites it, and then the edge of one of the bookshelves begins to smoke.
Scrambling to her feet. No. Help. She, looks outside of the hallway and down to where she knows the others are. I need some help.
Yeah, you guys hear her voice carrying easily through the halls, waking up from your sleep if you're a light sleeper.
Yeah, I'll definitely go that way.
Be there in a moment.
She runs to the bookshelf and is starting to just the hot isn't the same for her as it is maybe, but she starts trying to rescue small things. The thing tapestries, she'll toss in the water, but the book she's clutching one by one to her chest.
Mm-hmm. And those who want to arrive at the scene, and one of the pools is completely engulfed in blue fire. Some of the flammable things nearby have burst into flame. You see Araya tossing something into one of the fountains.
No, it's... I need more water. The water, it's not me.
Yeah, Casey runs in and blue fire, and sees the distress on Araya's face, and immediately goes to help put out the flames.
Esmond will actually run to Araya's side and open up his bag and just gesture for her to start throwing stuff in to it.
She's
so that
piling books in. Oh god, not the ones that are on fire, but definitely others. And I was
focus. We save what we can. We put out this fire now. Yeah?
Yeah, I just don't know how to stop it.
Did you do this?
Is there fire still coming out of Araya? Are you still making new fires?
And just the sacred pool's on fire.
Gotcha.
She's still sobbing, though. Mess.
Okay, it's fine. What we do now, we focus on breathing, we focus on saving what we can, and we put out this fire before it spreads. We focus on the immediate.
Okay.
There's an intense heat coming off of the fires that are on the surface of the pool. For Araya and Casey, it's not too bad, but for the others, it's almost unbearable.
What are we supposed to do?
More water?
Yeah, Casey will start moving his hand and pull water up, I guess from the sacred pool to douse flames around, if there's still water in there.
Well, the sacred pool's on fire, but like the surface of the water is on fire. But the smaller pools are nearby. You can pull water out of them to put things out.
Yeah, he'll start pulling water from them then. Yeah, he'll put out the spreading flames and then focus on the pool.
She's gonna start using her robes to like smother any fire that's nearby. But just like desperately like crawling on hands and knees trying to put it out and trying to stop it from reaching the other bookshelves.
Yeah. Before too long, you've managed to, the things that were nearby and close enough to combust, you've thrown them in the pools or pulled them down or gotten things away or put them in the bag, and there's still intense heat coming off of the flames in the sacred pool, but the things that were catching on fire are pluming smoke into the air, but there's no smoke that's coming from the fire in the sacred pool.
Is this part of your rituals, or?
No, I can't calm down or stop anything.
I mean, you're obviously much stronger than you give yourself credit for.
Not like this.
Araya, I've known you for a long time, and I've seen you do amazing work. There's nothing that you have been able to start that you haven't been able to finish. Ever. If you started this, you can control it. You can put these out.
No, you don't understand. Like, I can't even find the center of me in this. And it's worse when it's, because it's me. This is me. This is me. They tried their best, and this is what they got.
They did pretty well.
Esmond is, his eyes are just kind of flitting back and forth, and he is going to take off his prosthetic from his right hand, and he's going to take your hand and place it on top of the hand with missing fingers. This is who you are. You helped save me. You helped me find my center when I needed the help, when I needed the most help in my life. If you don't know where your center is, remember us. We can be your center if you can't find your own.
I will hurt you. Like, you're not safe here with, let's just take the books and it'll die out and I'll leave and it'll be okay.
There's an intense heat coming off of the flames, and like, loose bits of clothing and things are blowing in it.
Araya, if you were to ever hurt any of us, we know it's never on purpose, and we know just as well that you can heal us all. There's nothing that you can do that can scare us away. Not at this point.
What if it's true? What if everything they think of me is true? What if it's true? What if What if taking me into the temple is the reason that the temple...
Do you really want to agree with the dwarf?
A broken clock?
I mean, what if it's not? We've had some bad luck for things, but like, I don't think you're evil, and they were really shitty. You're not. You're not shitty in spite of all the things they said you were. You're really nice and helpful, and you're good to everybody. You're like the opposite of what they said.
No, You've seen the best of me, though. The face that I show, the things that I try. But I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best.
You also stole my mask, and I still like you, but we need to put the flames out.
She
put him
takes
out.
this-
This is. Sorry, go ahead.
No.
Put him out. Casey walks towards the sacred pool with the blue flames just emanating brightly and kind of like holds his arms out. He's silhouetted by these bright blue flames. He says, this is nothing to extinguish. This is glorious. This is your power, Araya. And he turns back to her and grins at her. Don't be ashamed of this. This is wonderful.
She takes a step more closer to the pool, and if the flame is okay with, like, if she's not going to burn herself actively, she's going to step in the water. Maybe I can. It's just a simple ritual. It's just a simple prayer, and the maiden knows what's in my heart. And she kneels to the water, touching it, closing her eyes, murmuring quickly every prayer and trying to find that center. Just to pull from her the light that she knows is within, and desperately trying to heal what she's caused wrong.
Please roll a persuasion check.
I can't even see what it is. I'm gonna use my inspiration. Marginally better.
Alright, 15. Not bad. 15 on the die. It takes a moment, but as you begin to feel yourself calming down, surrounded by your friends who've come to help, the blue flames begin to dwindle. Swirling downward until as though running out of something to burn, they extinguish a couple blue embers that float through the room.
She sort of sags into the water, not kneeling, not in prayer pose, but just collapsed into the pool. Is it a lot warmer?
Quite a bit.
I don't know if I can do it.
I think you just showed that you could. You can.
No, I mean, I don't think I'm enough to make the temple work like it did before.
I mean, did the priestess ever do anything like what you just did?
No, I mean,
I hate to say it, because it makes me feel gross, but I think Casey might be right.
You notice that the edge of her dress is on fire.
Oh, Oh, my dress? Oh, sorry, Rhea's.
Right.
Okay, yeah. If it's like, oh, yeah.
oh, she like sort of splashes her. Oh.
Yeah.
I think the way that I heal and the way that the temple waters heal is a very different thing.
Your flames are blue. That's so cool.
Thanks. I think I would be burned at the stake if anybody else had seen.
Esmond is going to approach Araya, just kind of kneel down in front of her. Can you stand?
In a minute.
Do you want to be alone right now?
No, I think being alone was the worst idea of it all. I tried.
Esmond's just going to just sit down next to you in the pool. Just not say anything.
Is everybody else okay?
Are you okay? It's
I'm
just
fine.
smoky, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. I'm gonna get some air. I'll come back and help if I'll come back and help clean up in a little bit, but let me know if you guys need anything before then. And she leaves the room, agitated by the smoke in the air.
Okay.
She's sort of like bowing her head and staring at her hands. You know, I thought I knew enough to run the temple myself or be a priestess until they came back, and then I could learn what it really takes to be a priestess. I thought that, this is my opportunity to prove that that I could do it. And it'd be fine when they came back. And when they came back, it would be better and perfect. And I think I'm wrong. I'll be ready to go back to town. When you all want to go back to town?
There's always something else that we need to learn. Say, something I learned recently myself. Whether it's about ourselves or our duties. There's always something more to learn. So it's important to not feel defeated every time you're disappointed with a discovery that you make.
It's a rather scientific approach to faith, don't you think?
Yeah, well, I'm an engineer. I'm doing my best.
Yeah, we are trying our best. And that counts for something, right?
Always. I'll sit here with you until you're ready to get up, okay?
Yeah. Just a minute. Just a minute or two, yeah.
Casey will quietly kind of slip out during this combo.
I think Sal will do the same. He was helping put out the flames around it and coughing. Hadn't said anything because he had a towel wrapped around his face. But
Really?
Yeah, but he's got an armful of like singed tapestries and he sulks away.
A few moments later, you hear like a shuffling behind one of the doors, and door kind of squeaks open. Peach pokes her head and goes, "Did I ever sleep? Is somebody cooking something?"
No, you should go back to bed. It's fixed. I messed up and they helped clean it up and
All right, well, if you need any help with breakfast, just let me know.
No, you should sleep. It's
She wanders sleepily away.
You should sleep. That everyone should be resting. We have so much to do.
I'll go rest when you do. It's fine. It's not the first late night I've ever pulled.
Thank you.
He just kind of bumps shoulders with you.
I didn't know that you noticed that the waters used to glow.
I didn't notice either, not until after the bath. I'd actually forgotten about it. It's been so long since I was here for my hand.
Do you think this place is any less holy without that? Do you think it's still a sacred place if it's still just a place?
Oh, faith-based question to the engineer of the group. I don't know. Faith is complicated, it seems like. I don't... My understanding of it is that the place of faith isn't what's important. It's the people that carry the faith. There are stories, hundreds, thousands of stories of sacred places of faith and texts that were destroyed, but it was through the people that the faith carried on, you know? The place is as faithful as sacred as you make it, I think.
And so maybe the other priestesses are making someplace else sacred where they're at. I see. Yeah, think about it. If they're gone and then I'm gone, what turns a temple into a ruin?
If they're gone, they're gone. You're still here. Whatever that ends up meaning is, I think, up to you.
It means a lot of sweeping.
Somebody's got to do it.
I'm gonna make Dirge do it. I'm gonna make Dirge sweep every single corner that he touched.
That feels perfectly reasonable, I think.
And scrub. Ooh, can I make him scrub the steps? Is that vindictive of me? I think maybe I'm getting some bad habits.
Is it vindication if you have a reason?
Is it a good enough reason? My moral compass is very black and white.
Well, it's your home and he dirtied it, right? So...
But he was also using it as a refuge from a horrifying terror outside the doors. I feel that I might have judged him quite harshly in the beginning there when I thought that he had caused harm to my sisters. He didn't deserve that.
Maybe, but he also judged you harshly, so I would say don't be too lenient on him.
Yeah, no. Thank you. I do feel better. I do. I promise I do. But I am going to sleep instead of try that again. Maybe tomorrow will be easier.
Okay, and Esmond will stand up and he'll hold out his hand with the missing fingers to you to try and help you up.
Takes his hand in hers. Thank you. Thank you for saving the books, and thank you for giving me a little bit of a logical side to this.
I'm nothing if not logical to a discouraging degree, so I'll always be here for that.
That's helpful, surprisingly. Yeah, thank you.
Nice. Let's take I guess just that night. Does any scenes anyone want to do before past time? Okay.
No.
Let's take just a quick little 3 to 5 minute break, and then move on to the next day. Nice job. Everybody gets an inspiration.
Yay, I needed one!
We gotta start using those.
Don't save them. Just do more reckless things, and then you'll have a chance to use them.
You want to know who doesn't need them? Casey.
He just used the one very successfully.
I need you guys to have them too, though. That's the thing.
That's fair. It was so wonderful and awkward and it's great.
Yeah, real crying during role-playing is my fucking bane, by the way. Like, oh yeah, I can make my voice work.
That was great.
It was wonderful.
Shot to you. See see the eyes of the dock workers on the walls looking at you. Wide expressions. As you begin to approach the eastern gate of the town, the creature on your back. There's the cranking of the gears and the doors open. You see, standing there is mouth hanging open. Your brother Yev.
Salate turns around and says, "Hold on to your arms," and then is basically just going to drop the carcass of this creature into his arms.
That's something stumbles a bit. Wow. What? Where did you go?
Went to investigate something for that, the verdict. The verdict had... I'm very tired. I've been dragging that thing back the entire way. Anyway, where is he? Where is the verdict, Fethedrin?
It's over at the town square. What do you want me to do with this?
Can you, I guess, bring that along, if you would? And then after we show it, I will... We need to find a cellar or something. Someplace to keep it cool so that it does not rot too fast before Ava and the others get back. They aren't back yet, right?
No, yesterday, they went to check the road. No, he kind of hoists it on his shoulder and he says, I didn't even know you. Jeez. Didn't even know you like fishing that much. Okay, lead the way.
They're gonna go... She's gonna go to the town square and try and find Fethedrin.
Okay, yeah, so you start walking that way. Just to leave a little bit of a blank spot, that's probably what we'll end that there, as you had to meet Fethedrin. And then... let's see. Esmond, are you back out?
Yeah.
Okay. The next morning, all of you have roused, managed to get dressed and get some rest. Everyone completes a long rest. I don't know if that matters, but... tell me a little bit about your morning. Or give me little vignettes of your characters, getting prepared for what you're going to do.
Esmond spends the morning collecting crops and shoving however much fresh produce into his bag. I'll let you tell me however much weight that ends up being. And after he's done doing that, he is going to try and draft up a blueprint for a device that could potentially deliver a large enough electrical charge to destroy the portal. Yeah.
Okay, well, give me some scenes, visual thing, like, you know what I mean? Like scenes of your character doing stuff.
Yeah. The first thing he does, like I said, he goes and collects fresh produce, picking what he can, following whatever directions Ava gives him based off of her own observations after running a check of everything. He will move back into the temple after completing that and will sit down with his notebook and begin sketching out ideas blueprints, means through which that he could destroy the portal that wouldn't necessarily rely on him having to expend his own magical resources necessarily. He also has a small oval-shaped pin that he is working on wiring one of his conductor keys into. It's a conductor key similar to the one that he infused into his bag that allowed it to become essentially a pocket dimension. And he's working on infusing that into the pin while drafting out notes and blueprints for this device that he's kind of dreaming up.
Nice.
I guess Ava, ahead of Esmond, did some checking. She seemed to put down and take small samples of a few different plants, and following what obviously was a bit of a ritual, begins to cast some magic. Trying to do this fast for everybody. And uses an aura of magic to sort of walk around the gardens and different areas, trying to sense and detect the health of any of the creatures in that area. And once she'll also dig up little bits of samples and put them in pouches, and has a small sheet of paper that sort of describes the different areas that she understands where each of the little samples came from. She'll afterwards, once she's ready, she's going to try to hit up Sal later to help her with some other stuff.
Ellinger wakes up early. He usually does. He likes routines. And his room smells like smoke from the charred bits of things that he'd pulled out of that room from the night before. Towel that reeks of it absorbed into it. And his clothes smell fine. They tend to be able to just clean themselves. But he's carefully laid out the tapestries that look recoverable and is slowly, meticulously rolling them layer by layer and then wrapping them in his bedroll to take with him. Does this quietly and then joins the others around to have breakfast, whatever we're doing before we head off for the day.
I imagine that once again, Peach has taken over getting food together. She kind of moves through each of her friends as they kind of pass through the area. Nobody quite sitting down for a whole meal, but a pastry to Ez, a wrap for Ava, a little egg sandwiches to go, things like that are easy for people to take one and move on, or sit and settle in an area where where Peach herself is kind of settling herself around in the kitchen area, where she feels she can tidy and make space without pushing onto any of the religious traditions here. Importantly, Salinger, when you get your breakfast, it is flavorless. No seasoning on it. Solace.
I would like to take an opportunity to roll stealth
Oh.
to add seasoning to my breakfast.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Okay.
Somebody's salty.
Perception, please, Peach.
Ooh, interesting.
Secret spices.
The food she gives to Ava is also very bland.
And thanks, sir.
Covered coriander.
Early in the morning, Casey is running around outside. This temple area is great for parkour, essentially. So he's running, jumping over low brick walls and over puddles, kind of doing side flips when it seems appropriate. And as he's running, the sun is casting a long shadow behind him. And he says, "No, yeah, there's definitely people in there, and they seem nice. We'll have to go see them." No, I'll tell Les. Don't worry. Yeah, the flames were blue. It was so cool. As he's making his way around the temple several times, up and over things, he'll climb up to a high point and kind of perch on top, like a cool gargoyle. And kind of sits up there and looks around the grounds and just kind of nods and surveys the area.
Yeah, probably where you're perched overlooks the front of the temple. The big door is still closed, but you see Dirge is out there. You see that there are a couple of clay pots just kind of stacked together. The corpses out front are gone. There's a small bundle nearby as well. You can see he's gotten dressed. He has a broom in his hand and he's sweeping.
Wait, I heard somebody.
No, go ahead.
No, if you're not done.
No, I don't think I have anything, but so go ahead.
It's probably because she's home, but she manages to wake up before the sun rises and falls into the easy rhythm of her daily tasks that were hers at the temple. And she takes them a little bit more slowly, a little bit more mindfully. She washes her hands and her face and puts on robes that are a little older that she had left in her room all that time ago, and takes the broom that's leaning against her doorway and heads out and sweeping the halls that line everyone's room before they wake up, and moving quietly and just keeping to these small things and taking in this moment of just being home. But she finds her way outside and sees Dirge, sees that others have woken up quite early, and heads over to the garden, kneeling in the dirt, weeding the little plants, giving them a better chance to grow more. But around midday, she's still in the garden, hands and knees, just taking care of the plants that are necessary for everyone's survival this winter.
Is that everyone? I think that's everyone. Alright, before too long, you guys have all come together to discuss it's about a day. Maybe we should have a discussion for next session because we have 8 minutes.
Can I do the thing with Sal?
Yeah, do that.
All right. After checking on the different plants, probably somewhere out in the garden, she sort of either sends for, tries to fetch Sal and bring him outside so that the two of them are in the same general area as other people. It's not necessarily a secret, but more of a private moment. She says, okay, so she tries to tuck the errant strand of hair that always seems to just not want to tuck. Okay, so I have 2 things for you. One of them, okay, is like just a gift, and then I don't know why I'm telling you this. I'll just, okay, here's the thing. And she ruffles through her bag, she pulls out something, and it looks like bits of roots, essentially, just small roots from a plant. They look a little hard and like almost brittle a little bit. She goes, okay, so this is something that my parents were working on. It's pretty hard to make, but it's called ogre moss, and if you put it, if you you consume it, it's magical, and if you put it in your mouth, when you chew on it, it's gonna just describe what it's gonna be like. It seems it's kind of brittle, but when you chew on it, it kind of turns to liquid and also kind of dust at the same time. It's a kind of a weird sensation, but the reason I'm giving it to you is because it's gonna make you feel. No, it makes you not just feel, but you'll be the strongest you've ever been in, and probably ever will be in your entire life for 10 minutes or something like that. But it's really potent, and I just figured that you should be the person to carry it, because if you ever need extra strength, well, we probably really need it. So that's, I just wanted, she sort of hands it out to you. Yeah.
Thanks. I didn't get you anything.
Oh no, it's not like that. It's just because I just feel for, I mean, I don't know, I don't know if there'll be a good time for you to need to use it. It's not like I have a lot of them, and I don't really, I know if I can recreate them. So don't just use it. Definitely be smart about when you use it. Anyway, but that's the one thing. Okay, the other one is, where's Poppy?
She's curled up in a little circle near my feet, like a little cat.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, just wait a second.
She had a long night bouncing around the halls.
I thought of this, and Esmond was helping me with it, and I think I know how to do it. I haven't done it yet, but hold on. Just give me a second. She goes about setting up this little bit of a ritual where she I'll describe it better in detail later, but she does various things and sort of takes some small bits of dirt and kind of rubs it a little bit behind her ears, and then does this weird thing where she takes a small berry and touches it to the tip of her tongue, in the process of something that takes a few minutes. When she's finally done with it, she kind of she completes this sort of ritual and then pauses for a second, keeping her arms out. She goes, okay. I know it was weird just watching me do all of that, and I probably should have done it before you came over here, but I was busy. So, okay. You know how right now you can talk to Poppy, but obviously Poppy can't talk back to you, the vocal cords don't, right? So I thought with this sort of spell, I can, I think I can translate. So, can you, well, I can just talk, I guess, but I don't want to scare him. Can you talk to Poppy and tell him that I'm gonna talk to him?
That's what you did with that whole
Yeah.
Step by step there. Okay. So he leans down, he scratches Poppy behind this ring of feathers behind her jaw. He usually wakes her up without her getting grumpy, at least the last 2 days, when she falls asleep every couple hours with her naps. She doesn't bite. And then says,
Psst, 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 psst.
Oh my, that's so weird. Okay. And then you hear her speaking to Poppy, and she's like, hey, she says to him, hey, can you understand me? And it comes out, you would hear,
What spell are you? What spell or ability are you using?
speak to animals.
Okay. That would not let you speak to Salinger.
No. Sorry, that's fair. Salinger hears,
Okay.
the animal hears what she said.
Salinger is an animal.
It's true, but intelligence too high.
only in combat. Well,
Can you click the spell?
Yes, give me a second, I apologize.
Wait. No. Give Salinger an attempt to put a palm on or something.
Is that what we're calling it nowadays?
Alright, speak with animals, there it is.
Alright, while you're doing that, it just sounds like you're doing an impression of me. It's not bad. Pitch is a little off, a little high, more nasal.
Okay. Yeah. When you speak to Poppy, her head darts up, looks at you, and cants to the side.
She's like, hi, oh gosh, can you say, things back? Like, anything? Hello?
So I'm gonna speak with words, but Poppy's not speaking words to you. This is all very subtle things, right? Like body language, stuff like that. Essentially, when you say hello, Poppy squawks out at you. It's basically saying hello.
Okay. The way I was going to do this, and you can tell me if you like this or not. She hears this, and what she tells Sally, she's like, whoa. Okay. So I thought what I could do would be to, like, learn something about the language, but, like, and again, Chris, tell me if you don't like this. It's really weird. Like, when I hear something back, it's like I understand it, but I can't remember any of it. It's like I understand the intention, so like I don't think I can actually learn a language of any kind, but I think I could do like a little bit of interpretation. And so if you have maybe a few simple words, I could help, and then you could practice, and that so that as she's learning common, you can kind of learn some simple like food or something like that. And yeah, I could tell you a few of those, and maybe over time you could just better understand what she's trying to say. If that makes sense, Chris.
I mean, close enough.
I mean, probably start with please and thank you.
Oh, you want to know when she's saying please and thank you?
No, teach you manners. She knows how to do everything else for herself. She just don't know how to be polite in company. I thought maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I was thinking more like I see a thing over there, and it's.
Where are you
bad.
looking when you say that? She like pops up on, so she's standing and looks in that direction.
Oh, no. I don't see. I'm saying, and she's saying to Poppy, I'm talking. I need to get better at this. Okay.
She looks at you.
Sorry.
Kind of seems disappointed.
Sorry. Okay. No. This is new. I'm gonna stop casting this. This is awful. This is like terrible for me.
Poppy kind of snorts and walks off.
Wow.
I think you might have offended her.
I think I just lost. I think she just lost all respect for me.
Did you apologize?
I tried. Yeah, I was.
Of course she's mad. I gotta go. Just stay here. I'll go deal with this now. She's gonna sulk all the way back to town.
Oh.
She didn't mean it, Poppy. She goes running after.
Cool. Nice. Alright. Yeah, so I guess that's where we'll... Oh, let me think.
You have a stinger?
Yeah, I'm like, is there a button?
Yeah, that's kind of a little stinger, but I don't know. It might ruin something Charlotte wanted to do. I don't know, let me think. Oh, we'll do a different stinger. Even better.
I'm just vibing.
Just vibing. Yeah. Just improv a little bit, I guess. On the large table in what was the mayor's house, there are sketches of the surrounding area. Some of them based on scouting that you've done, Charlotte. And Verdict, Vethedrian, runs his finger along the edge of the coastline and then taps it twice. And says, "Here. You're sure it's here?"
As reasonably as I can, yes. I moved a bit slower coming back, so I had a bit more time to check against landmarks.
Even if we can get a hold of it, we'll need wagons or sleds to transport it back. Meraldine suggests we've exhausted the town's supply of metals for crafting, unless we start cannibalizing things we already have. There's nothing more to build. We need that metal. And then he's beginning to roll out sort of another map, another sketch. And a glass of water on the table. Ripples. Ripples again.
Salty stares at the glass for a moment. And then she grabs Vethedrian's arm and says, "We have to run. We have to get people out of here. It's the big one."
Looks at you. Eyes go wide for a moment, then narrow, and then you hear a shouting kind of in the street. You hear one of the dock workers comes running, throws up the door. "Oh, at the edge of the forest, there's something big."
She doesn't wait, and she just grabs the glaive hanging, or no, leaned up against the door, and runs out the door.
You run through the streets of town. You can see people have peeked out of their homes. Some people in the streets looking confused. You make a break for the southern wall, quickly making your way up the ramp up there. Yev's already up there waiting for you, along with the others. Across the fields, from this distance, visible, despite how far it is away, you see plumes of bright feathers, long body, long tail, large head. You can estimate 20, 25 feet long. Great Orinokus. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Everything's fine.
It's nice knowing y'all.
We're only 3 days away. Just hold on.
Yeah, it's a marathon. Just, wear it down slowly for a period of days.
Yeah, I think you guys haven't even reached the temple yet, have you?
And they wouldn't. They would have still been on the way after.
You're gonna have to use a classic MMO strategy to defeat that giant thing.
Just kite it.
Uh-huh.
Hide it and train it to the other big ass sea monster and have them just go at each other.
Oh my gosh. I love that we're all like, hot tub episode! And then you're like, I'm fighting monsters by myself. Mother fudge, you don't go light when you're solo.
Chris, what do you have against civilization? Why is every time there's some remnant of it, you're like, it must be destroyed?
It hasn't
nature
attacked.
druid.
It hasn't attacked the town.
That's true. Maybe it's just going up for a conversation. Like, excuse me, I seem to have lost my children. Have you seen them around here?
I've heard tell of this person named Doc, who's very rude to my children. Turn her over and we'll be all good.
I hope it's okay.
Oh,
to
you
just,
want to talk? She's over that way.
Yeah.
like a cultural misunderstanding, the pack dynamics, the idea of apology or any sort of weakness is so rude.
Yes. It makes complete sense that Sal would have some idea or maybe understand that even at a deep level, and Doc would have no idea.
Yeah, like a gut feeling that he couldn't explain. Question for you, Chris.
Mhm.
Is there a policy on players throwing in stingers if they don't want to do a whole scene but just wanted to drop something?
Can I
Do
get
it.
a stinger?
Do it. Do it.
I want to hear your stinger.
I mean, it doesn't have to be now.
No. Okay.
Oh!
Now.
Yeah, tease us.
I really, I'm sorry, but I really enjoyed the pitch change from extreme excitement to the deepest lament right there. But I will still do the stinger. On the way back, Sal hangs back a little bit with Dirge. Leans down to him. A little piece of kind of singed tapestry in a hand. When we get back, could I ask you for a story? You tell me everything you can about what you fought in that war. That's it.
Nice.
And Pris, you have to give us a heads up if your character's going on a suicide mission.
Yeah, none of... Oh, shoot.
I feel like that's
He's
all.
actually- Oh, I was gonna say she's actually a little bit disappointed that she didn't get hit in that fight.
But it would have brought all the fishies to you. And then you'd had to fight 20 fishies.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to necessarily fight all of them. She could just get bit once and then cleanse leave.
Man.
Feeding frenzy.
Are they?
Oh, that's like
They
the scene
were
out of
saber-tooth.
Piranha.
Ooh. They were saber-tooth tiger sharks, though, right? Just like
Saber-tooth tiger sharks. That canonical name. Saber-tooth tiger sharks, for sure.
I feel like
They're regular sharks, but with just tiger legs sticking out of the bottom of them.
It's the derpiest looking monster. I do want to draw a bestiary for this particular campaign already.
Yeah, it's turning into a Monster
Some good
Hunter
players.
campaign.
Okay, I owe you guys. I forgot to give you the scrolls from last time. Yeah, so I need to do that soon this week. Who is in possession of that spear?
I've got
Sal?
it wrapped up in cloth.
Okay,
Yeah.
not attuned. You just have it.
Yeah. Another one of those gut instinct things. I'm making up all kinds of shit about how something feels right or doesn't with him.
Cool. I like it. Okay, cool. I'll give you all that stuff. And yeah, good job, guys. Y'all done lived. Yeah, somehow unexpected hot tub episode.
Yeah.
Oh.
Was it really unexpected though?
Yeah, I was going to say that wasn't.
Yeah.
People were looking for that all week.
I actually
true.
really thought you guys were gonna like pack up and leave. Like, what? What
I
did
like
you guys
that.
suspect?
Yeah.
You never
Casey's
turned
was
down a
hot.
hot tub warp each episode.
Honest to goodness, though, I will jump on that stuff. It's a shame that Shalati wasn't there. I feel like the girls' side would have been interesting too. With
Mm-hmm.
more.
Yeah, we are missing like half of the group.
Yeah, we are. All the ladies, like it's half the ladies. It's...
We're gonna start. So we're gonna start next session, presuming they're there, with Kabeth and Cyphered like holed up in that room and like whatever they're doing in there. That's all your shenanigans happen.
They're at the different tub going, I don't understand. I thought they said this one. Are you sure this is the right tub?
My guess is they're sitting on the opposite side of the room, just tossing food into each other's mouths. Who can make the most?
I do like the differences between like boy hot tub, girl hot tub. Boys are like, so do you have cool new powers? I have cool new powers. I can hold my breath for 20 minutes, apparently.
Look, I'm just saying, if you put Edmund in a thing with anybody that can do any sort of magic, he's gonna ask questions.
Okay, so
You know-
I go.
I was just gonna make a dirty joke about Esmond, but
Oh,
What?
What is-
Here for the jokes.
oh, well, I mean, you know what else being able to hold your breath infinitely is good for, right?
No.
singing.
Didgeridoo!
Okay, so you guys scrolls, and I owe you. You wanted research results for your device, Esmond?
Yeah, specifically, he was looking to develop a device that, basically a bomb, basically an electric bomb to destroy the portal.
Okay, I'll give you some. Roll me investigation real quick. Or sorry, Tinker's Tools real quick. Actually, roll me investigation first. That's the thinking about tools is doing it. Whoa, 25. Okay, sounds good. I'll send you notes. Good game, guys. Good game. Good game.
I really
That was a lot of
appreciated how
fun.
y'all RP'd awkward teenage moments. That was hilarious to me.
I honestly lean into it. I'm really sorry. I will always make a awkward teenage moment if I have the option of making an awkward teenage moment.
It wasn't my goal with this character, but it's where I have wound up, and I don't know how I got here.
I thought that was entirely the goal of your character, was awkward. That's why we're teasing the shit out of you.
Yeah. Just you wait. He's like a regular Neville, waiting to blossom.
He's gonna be
here.
so well. He's already super handsome. That's canon in like what is that, episode 3?
I mean,
No,
look like
he's
Tom
her
Holland.
little spark plug.
I was just talking about when Peach's mom.
Don't forget that.